Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. We'll give y'all a little bit of time to tune in. Um, Title is clear as day. I am waiting for the special guest to pop in. I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. First things first, hopefully everybody had a blessed and productive Thursday. Hopefully everybody was able to get through the hassles of the work day. We almost towards the weekend, y'all. Definitely good vibes. Appreciate those who tuned in earlier, even though we had a fake interruption. Uh, it was definitely still a good conversation and chop up with the people this afternoon. Give me 1 second. Shay, what's going on, baby? Word, what's going on? I'll drop this link in a minute. I'm waiting for my special guest, Leticia. So, drop the link. Diamond Jackpot, what's going on, baby? JC, what's going on? I see y'all there. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to drop this. Damn, here we go. Definitely was a good vibe earlier. We had a fake minor interruption, but it was a funny interruption. So y'all can catch that replay because it does go back to what I was saying earlier in the beginning of this week. Some people refuse to use logic; they use emotion. So, James, what's going on, bro? Tonight, let me see. The only thing I can really say about homeschooling, because this is more for Leticia to drop the knowledge. The only thing I can really say about homeschooling, all in all, is if you feel it's adamant to do so, especially if you can't trust what's going on in your school systems or your districts, take that time and effort and definitely make sure your kids are getting the right education. And not just that education they try to feed you for the schools. So it's the main thing I can say. It's easy for some of y'all to do it. You just gotta want to do it. Word, what's going on, bro?
What up, though? Appreciate you, bro, holding this for me, bro. I greatly appreciate it. Um, this is what we talk about, building and supporting one another. Um, so yeah, appreciate you holding this, and I know you had to push your regular time back, and you even changed what you was gonna do. So, like you always say, you lead by example. It's information that get out. No matter who get it out, we get it out in service to people.
Nah, big facts. Hold on. Somebody finally popping up on my panel. Now, what's going on, Leticia?
Hey Nate.
Hey, Leticia, what's going on?
All right, I'm just trying to set it up here. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you good. I gotta mute myself because this damn train. Give me a second.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to fix something here. Camera. No, that's not it.
Appreciate you, sis, for coming and share the knowledge and wisdom. Greatly
Oh yeah.
appreciate it because
Edit. Oh.
this is I believe this is an option that more people need to explore, and I don't think many people explore this option because they're unaware of it and the myths behind it. And some people are successful at it, some people ain't. And when people see people fail at things, sometimes they won't even try. So for someone to you know who's doing it currently. We appreciate you coming to share your experience and wisdom.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure though. I appreciate y'all having me. And excuse me, everybody, because I'm dealing with, I was telling the word earlier, I'm dealing with allergies. They just started acting up like a couple of days ago. So we've had a lot of, pollen with the spring and everything. So I don't typically sound like this, but I appreciate y'all bearing with me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Listen, anytime anybody need to use the panel, like I said, this is how we do it.
Let me close YouTube out. There we go. Okay, I just wanted to put a name with the face, a face with the name. It's me. Hey, y'all. So, I'm Leticia. I'm Leticia's Third Eye POV. I have my own channel. I'm not gonna keep my camera on only because like I said, I'm not feeling all that up to, par. So I don't want to gross y'all out. But thank you for having me, Nate, and the word. And I just wanted to share my journey, and it might help anyone else who's interested in homeschooling their own child. So I do sometimes post clips or links in on my channel with ideas, homeschooling ideas, and I also will have some on my other pages like Facebook and Instagram. So just so you know, if you need some resources, you can check my channel description out, and you can hit me up on the back end on the email if you need to get some curriculum ideas. So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Letitia, anytime, that's for anybody, If at any time y'all know y'all going to need the panel for whatever, that's what it's for. I don't mind having different conversations and bringing different types of information. And
Right.
excuse the noise in the background. I'm in the store trying to grab my lunch for the night. I'm at work as we speak now. So
Okay. Okay. So I'll start with where I started. So a lot of people went through the what I call anyway, and a lot of folks had to keep their children at school, and you had to homeschool. So it was to do it, which was really the catalyst to me going into homeschooling full, just to go ahead and pursue it and continue to pursue it after, educating myself on what really is going on within the public school system, or I'll also use public indoctrination system. There was a gentleman who he had a TikTok, and he mentioned how the the school system is set up to indoctrinate our children. And that's a lot of times what we do as well as parents. We indoctrinate instead of educate. And that's a lot of what is going on in the school system is indoctrination to teach your children how to think is and what to think instead of how to think. And that's the main thing is we need to be teaching our children how to think instead of what to think, because they need to learn how to make decisions later on in life. We're not guaranteed forever, right? So our children are going to need to fall back on their own natural senses to determine what they need to do in certain situations. And a lot of those situations are not taught within the public school system. So, of course, the pandemic happened, and we were basically forced to practically homeschool. Are you still there? I don't know if I'm on. Are we still good? Everybody is falling off. I'm not sure if we're still on. Okay. Are we good, Nate?
Yeah, you good. The floor was yours. I had to check something on the settings real quick. You good?
Oh, okay, I was just making sure we didn't drop off. Okay, so we went through the pandemic. It was pretty much like I said, and then from there I educated myself, and then got involved with the nonprofit company or agency who was interested in homeschooling their children as well. So what we did is we came up with what's considered a almost like a extracurricular activities to do with our children outside of what was being taught in the schools, so that we could teach our children what we felt was going to be beneficial to them whenever they uh, need to, whatever they need to learn, whether it's prepping, how to prep, how to um, do basic CPR, first aid, also gardening. So there are different instructors within that organization, and I help head up that organization's education department. And then what I decided was to go ahead and homeschool my 5-year-old. And instead of putting him into the public school system, at that point, I decided I'm going to forego it all together. And a lot of times we learn by trial and error. And so that's how I had to learn, because I have 4 boys altogether, and most all of them were in the public school system, which, if anyone knows, when it comes to um, our children, melanated children, they tend to be criminalized. They're taught how to deal with the criminal system, in my opinion, by being in the school system. I know there's a saying, the school to prison pipeline, that a lot of people have heard before. But so anyway, I was like, well, that seems like what is actually happening. You have these, what they quote unquote call resource um, officers in the school. And so you're teaching them how to deal with correctional officers. I'm not saying they don't need to learn authority and how to be respectful towards authority, but at the same token, it is almost like the school mimics what a prison looks like and what they do in prison. And we all need structure, of course. All of us need to have boundaries and structure and learn how to maneuver life. But that's not necessarily all that's taught in the public school system. You also have, they're teaching, they're doing gay pride parades in the hallways of the school. They have their flags up in the schools, the alphabet peoples all over the schools. Uh, I've seen them on the outside of the school, the flag um, that represents their group. But I just felt like that to me was too much, because um, in my opinion, that's something that a parent should be teaching. If you want to teach sexuality to your children, I feel like that's the parent's responsibility, and not should not be a teacher's responsibility. And so that's one other reason why I decided that I didn't want to keep my children into that system. Um, And so that's kind of where my idea came from to homeschool. Um, and then, uh, so there was a lot of hesitancy in doing that, Nate. And the reason is because you have to figure out, how do I do it? What do I need to do? Like, how am I going to teach my child? I'm not a teacher. And we think that, but you really are your child's first teacher. We teach our children every day. They're watching us. And one of the principals I met through the Unity Walks organization, she's actually a principal, and she took her children out of school. And it wasn't just because of the pandemic. She took her children out of school, period. And she gave me a lot of ideas, and a lot of the ideas I'm going to share with you, I got from her too. But it says a lot when a principal takes their own child out of their school system. Um, and so either way, she helped me through to think out how I was going to do this, because that's the main thing a lot of us gets anxious about is, how am I going to have my children at home, and I got to work, and I got to do this and that and the other. And she helped put my mind to ease, because, and I know I've said this before in the chat, and I've mentioned it to the word, um, your child on average is only getting 8 minutes of one-on-one time within the school system. Your child is getting 8 minutes a day. 8 minutes a day. Can you imagine? How long is your child in school? Let me see it in the chat. How long is your child in school every day?
Yeah, my fault. I'm multitasking as we speak. I'm hearing everything you saying. I'm
I'm,
hearing everything you saying.
no, I'm
And
looking.
you know,
I'm watching the chat. I'm saying Monique said 8.
oh shoot. Yeah, salute and blessings to everybody that popped in. Multitasking as we speak is one of them busy work nights. And then my fucking money just dropped. So light skin today, I don't know. But all in all, some people at some point they definitely are going to start homeschooling the kids, because some of them just they more afraid of what's been going on, especially like with the school shoot.
Right. So I see Angela at 8 too. Most children are in school for 8 hours a day, but they only get 8 minutes of one-on-one time. And so I, you're talking about 1% of the time that they're there. Is that right? Or is it 0.8% of the time that they're there that they actually have one-on-one education? And so that was another reason why I was like, well, shoot, I could do 8 minutes at home with my son every day. So I thought, well, that makes sense. Why am I sending my son to school if he's only getting 8 hours, 8 minutes of the 8 hours a day of one-on-one time? And I'm not saying he deserves the whole 8 hours, but damn, like, what are they doing? Like, because every child learns differently. So we have to keep that in mind. Every child's not just, you can't just throw a packet at them and tell them to learn that. They need that, whether it's auditory learning, tactical learner, they might be hands-on, they may be a visual learner. All of us learn differently, but they clump us all together to learn like we all should learn the same. And so that's the other issue with that I saw within the public school system, was that they don't allow for a different way of learning. It's this way because you got one teacher with 25 students, sometimes even more. They can't go to each student and teach them. They might be able to separate them in groups, but they can't, they don't have the time. So I don't blame the teachers either, because they're only doing what they can. And I've been a substitute teacher before, so I understand what they go through. And I wasn't even a main teacher. I was going off of the curriculum that their the their original teacher left for me to teach. So um that's another fun fact, just so y'all know. If you have your children in a public school system, they are more than likely only obtaining 8 minutes of one-on-one time with that teacher. So, but let me move forward to now where I've had to learn how to teach my 5-year-old. And so what I decided to do was go get a curriculum book. And you can get these at any teacher store. You can even buy them on Amazon or online. And it tells you what your child needs to learn and where they should be by the end of that year. So you don't have to actually do all the work yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so that to me was important because I'm, like I said, I've never created a curriculum. I've never been a professional teacher. I've been a substitute teacher, but that's nothing. I don't even, substitute teachers are great. They're needed, but they're really just almost like babysitters. And even the teachers are too, to an extent. But so I got my 5-year-old's, uh, he has a kindergarten book, and I've also created my own set of curriculum as well to teach him. But either way, you don't have to feel overwhelmed. And that's why I tell people to take a deep breath before you overwork yourself thinking about it, because it can make you anxious thinking about homeschooling your child. And I probably spend 30 to 45 minutes with my son Monday through Thursday teaching him. And that's adequate enough. And some people can break it up. Like the Empress Kuhani told me, who was the principal, you can teach your child when you go to the grocery store. You can teach them how to count the apples. You can do addition and subtraction while you're at the grocery store. While you're driving, you can teach your child. You can teach them to look for all the red cars. You can teach them to look for a certain color or a certain number when you're just as you're commuting or whatever. Um, it could be a restaurant where you look at the menu and you're doing teaching that way. I will say this, every state is different. And so you do need to check with your state before you pull your child out of school. The state I'm in Texas, you have 2 weeks before you can pull your child out of school after school starts. So let's say our children start here in August. So in August, if you know, I don't want my child to go to public school, if you have them already in there, you'll have 2 weeks to remove them from the school. But like I said, every state is different. So you have to check with your state because your state has a specific curriculum too. And if you would like for them to either go back to the public school at some point, they'll have to make sure that they're um, on their track. And so when they're looking at your curriculum, they're going to test your child to come back into the public school system, because there are some parents that I'm going to homeschool until they get in high school. That way I know I've set up all their I've I've helped guide and mold them, and they're not going to be easily persuade, or they're not going to be easily indoctrinated or moved to believe a different way. They'll have their own mindset, and that way you don't feel so anxious about them. So some people do decide, I'm just going to homeschool until high school, and then after high school I'm going to go ahead and put my child into a public school system. So everyone is different now how they want to do it. Some people I know have chosen to put their child into school when they go into middle school. So they'll homeschool all of elementary, and then in middle school they feel that their child will be okay to be in a public school setting. but it's going to be up to you. You'll know your child better. Some people, they might choose differently for each child. Some children you might want to put them in middle school. Some you might put them in high school. But you do need to check with your state law with the education system, and that's what I did. You check with your state, and they'll tell you what you need to do. If you ask them the questions you need, like, is there a curriculum I have to go by? Do you have a curriculum? Or who do you recommend for homeschooling? Because sometimes they can tell you. That's what the school I pulled my 17-year-old out. They said here are 3 different curriculums that we recommend. That way, when your child gets ready to graduate, they'll be on track with the other students or even surpass them at some point. I found that a lot of homeschoolers tend to be more advanced than the children in the public school, which makes sense if you're spending more quality time with them, as opposed to them being they're in the public school for socialization. At this point, that's my opinion. So basically, I got the curriculum, and I work with my 5-year-old. We work on his curriculum for 30 to 45 minutes a day. At first, we were splitting it up, like we might do 15 minutes and then another 15 minutes later. So you have to get to learn your child. You have to get to learn their teaching, what is their learning style, and how you need to teach them, and what is the best approach to help them learn. Because it's going to be your responsibility at the end of the day. And even if your child's in public school, it's still your responsibility at the end of the day that they are being taught or they understand what they're learning. So, trying to think of what else. Um, yeah. So you'll want to figure out your curriculum, and then if you're concerned with your child being at home, um, the one thing I can say that can be the main um, challenge is keeping your child preoccupied. So it's finding things that they like to do, because they might not. You're only going to probably spend 30 minutes to an hour with them. I'm talking about the little ones. I'm gonna go over the older ones in a minute, because you're actually not probably gonna spend as much time with them one on one. But find things that they like to do. I have a easel for my son so he can paint. You can get coloring books, activity books. That way they have other things and outlets outside of just the schoolwork. You know what I'm saying? And so that's important to also do, because let's say you're working 8 hours a day, which I typically do 8 to 10 hours a day. But I try in the middle of the day to do the homeschooling with my 5-year-old. And so he has all that other time where he's basically home. But of course, I have my 17-year-old here, but he's doing other things outside of just sitting, like being bored, basically. And then there's also homeschooling groups. If you go on Facebook, you'll find, I don't know if people are still on Facebook or not, but I am. They have usually homeschooling groups in your city where y'all can work together. Some people work together to homeschool. That way they can still have that socialization with other children. And so you can work with a group. Of course, you want to vet them out and make sure they're someone you're okay with. And then also, they have activities within your city typically for homeschoolers, like the YMCA here. They have activities so that way your child's just not sitting at home all day. They can go to the activity for about an hour, 30 minutes a day, and hang out, you know, other children their age. They've got where they can code, they can do sports. They've got shit. It's so many activities. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but anyway, um, they have several type of activities for them at different centers. Like your rec center might even have homeschooling activities for your local rec center. But other than that, we have a garden we just planted. We're doing that in our backyard. That's one of our homeschooling activities. We've done some science experiments as well, which he loves. He loves the exploding volcano, stuff like that. You can buy science kits on Amazon. A lot of this you can buy yourself. Um, you can go to a teacher store if you want, or you can go on Amazon or eBay. But they have a lot of activity kits for your age group for your child. And then the other thing is making your curriculum. So if you don't use a curriculum book, or you want to add on to the curriculum that you have in the book that you buy, which I have both the book and my own curriculum. Um, I decided, and like I said, it's all been trial and error. I was doing curriculum every day. I'm like, oh no, this is too last minute. So I decided on Sundays, I'm going to do our curriculum for the week. So he has his whole week scheduled for that. Now, some people do it, they're long-term planners. They might have a curriculum for the whole year set up, and they might do that over the summer, and they'll set up their curriculum for the whole year. Um, but and there's some that might do it month to month. It depends on how much time you have to dedicate to that. So you can create a curriculum week by week, or you can create it month by month, year by year. That is your choice, because you're the teacher. You're the teacher. You're the administrator. You're the principal. You're all of those things. So that's how I do my curriculum. On Sunday, I write out his curriculum. That way he has it for the whole week. He doesn't have to wait. I don't have to do it every day. Where I was doing it, I was overwhelming myself. And so a lot of what I'm telling y'all is through trial and error, um, through learning experience myself. Um, I don't know if y'all have any questions. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what all I've done myself, and this has only been my first year homeschooling. Oh, I did want to mention, um, in the state of Texas, they have a K-12 program. I'm not too excited about doing that, because it's really the same thing. You're putting your child in front of a computer. That's just for me. Now, those who might want to, is free in the state of Texas, but you can check with your state. You can do a public school at home. You don't have to do it. You don't have to send your child into the school at the school building, like a brick and mortar, to learn. So that's another idea I wanted to put out there, is to go. You can go through the school district and see if your school district has that option before next year, if that's something you're interested in. There's also other um, curriculums, online curriculums you can use. They typically you have to pay for. Like I said, the one in Texas is free. It's called K-12. But I don't know if other states offer it as well. It's something to look into if that's something that you're interested in. So you can have them with a teacher on the screen, like when they were at home during the pandemic, and they'll teach your child for you. That way, if you feel like um, it's not something that is for you, and that's also in, important to know, is is what you can do. Like, do self-evaluation. I have to do a self-check with myself too, because I have to learn patience. And so sometimes it can become overwhelming if you feel like you don't know what you're doing. And so do your own self evaluations and determine, is this something for you? Or do you want to put your child with a Zoom instructor, or have them go to another type of school? Um, there are some decent charter schools out there, but unfortunately they have to teach just like the public schools. I know here in Texas they do, because they get government grants, so they're required to teach whatever the public school system teaches. The only caveat to that would be that you might not have the other indoctrination, so to speak, the societal indoctrinations that they're pushing right now. I know they want, the CDC just announced last year that they want the nurses and teachers to start teaching transgender. They want them to start teaching gender, the other genders, like the non-binary and the, I don't know, I think it was, I forgot who was it, Angel mentioned there's over 100 genders. I don't know if she's in the chat, but I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Over 100 genders. Could you imagine trying to learn over 100 genders? And they want to teach that to your children in school. So that's what the CDC has proposed, and you know what the CDC is. They definitely tell everyone else what they can and cannot do, or what they should and should not be doing, and how they will jack their funding if they don't. Another thing is to learn is that if you pull your children from school, those school systems lose money. They get paid just like the prison for each and every head sitting at that desk. And so it sends a message when we take our children out of these schools. If you are opposed to what they're doing in the schools, you keeping them in there, you are basically complacent, and you are telling them you're okay with what they are doing in the schools. Now, I don't say that just to make anyone feel bad. I'm saying it to be real, because that's what I was doing. When we leave our children up to these teachers in these schools to determine their fate, and tell them what to think and what's okay and what's not okay to think, then you are just as responsible. You cannot blame the teachers, you cannot blame the principals or the administration. You have to blame yourself, and we have to hold ourselves accountable as well. My son got suspended. He was 16. He was 16, I believe. He might have been 15, y'all. Charge it to the head, not to my heart. But he defended himself in school because one of his friends slapped the shit out of him in the hallway. And he kept telling him to stop. And then he hauled off and punched him in the face. He got suspended for defending himself, which by law is legal. But in the school system, they tell them it's not legal. I went to 3 appeals with the administration about him getting suspended to get him back into his regular school. They basically put him in a prison school. So he had to go to an alternative school, disciplinary school, for 30 days because he defended himself. They said it's because he overdid it. So, and we know that does exist too in real life. You know, you can be punished for using more force than necessary in defending yourself. So we got to keep that in mind too. But that's why he got suspended for 30 days. He got put into an alternative school and treated like a criminal. They had to wear the same outfit every day. They had to wear the khakis with the t-shirt, the same color. All of them looked like little prisoners getting scanned in and out of the school. They had to scan them. There's an officer, a resource officer at the door, and they would scan them in and out. They couldn't go in with certain clothes on, um, even certain items. They could only take certain things into that school. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but it's hard to watch your child going in and out of a place like that. So it's kind of, I look at China 19 as a blessing in disguise for me, because it helped open my eyes to what was really going on and why I needed to continue to keep my children out of the place. But yeah, you can decide how you want to teach your child. You can decide when. Like I said, we do ours in the middle of the day, so it might be between 12 and 3 p.m. And I just take 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, but that's usually if we're doing like an activity or something else. But we spend that time together. It's actually good bonding time for you and your child because you're giving them that attention one on one. And then it's also good because you're teaching them. So when they go to grandma's or cousin's house or whatever, um, they can actually say, my mom taught me, or my dad is the one who taught me this. I learned multiplication from my father. And some people even have their grandparents homeschool their children. I was watching another channel, the Ellises, and their grandmother, grandmother lives at home with them. And so you might not have that time to do, but maybe someone else close to you, you feel you trust, you can entrust them to homeschool your child. And so they had the grandma was spending like 30 minutes with their child every day to homeschool. And so those are just some options to look at. It's not the end all be all. The major thing is I know a lot of people just get overwhelmed by the thought of it. And you have to unlearn and relearn what we as a people have to do to improve what is going on in society. Because if we keep doing the same thing, we're going to keep having the same outcome. And that's insanity. And so that's why I decided I had to, with my last child, do him better than I have the others. And that's just for me. And I'm not sad or ashamed of it. I just learned from it. So do y'all have any questions? I feel like I'm rambling. You have any questions, Nate or the word? Or Dad
I
have any
did.
questions?
I
No,
did
I'm good.
too.
What the hell just happened? My fault. I'm over here trying to double check because while you was talking, I just got an alert on this fucking Citizens app talking about somebody knife wielding in front of my job. I'm like, I ain't see no cops or I ain't see nobody in the front. I'm double checking, but
Oh,
I don't really have no questions. I mean, the panel was mostly open for you because I know you had some info you want to bring. And like I said, I kind of already like spoke on some of this already, like as far as like just if you feel these are the best options, because again, you're gonna have some people who we know for a fact they just not gonna be able to really homeschool their kids. But if you're gonna homeschool, I mean, if you are gonna send them in the school system, then there needs to be change in that school system as well too, because There's just some things that they know for a fact you're not supposed to be teaching no kids before a certain age anyway. And I don't think no 6, 7, 8 year old should have to learn what the hell all these different genders are. That's just how I feel. Wait a minute. I forgot. Let me put this up for fair use. No, because I spoke on something like that recently. Like me and Word done went back and forth on it to a degree. I said I know it's gonna be like see people like riders for life. She trying to get things done as far as like trying to you know at least get metal detectors for the schools, like trying to make the schools safe again at least. Even because again, even without the agendas that they pushing, you still got to worry about that classic. Depending on where you at, you got to worry about that classic old. Is my kid gonna come home in one piece or not? And I could get where you coming from because I've always felt this way anyway. The bully should not be getting a pass all the time. Oh shit, something happened.
It was a nice.
It's that New York City, like I'm telling you. But
That
they
was
ain't
a.
yeah,
I got
ambulance riding on the block.
a couple questions.
Well, I
This
want to
is
let me just piggyback on what Nate said. The word, if you don't mind. Um, my husband, they had a lockdown twice in 1 week because of nearby shootings by the school.
Crazy.
So, can you imagine? Like, your child should not go somewhere and be frightened and have to do these drills, these shooter drills. We used to do that in at the hospital. I'm like, damn, like these children actually have to do these at the school now. And in Texas, they've approved the teachers. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. But I remember seeing it. They can have their own piece as long as they're um, qualified to have they can have their weapon at the school on them.
I was hearing about that, but see, this is my thing. All in all, this is the point. This is the reason why you have security guards, and if some of y'all schools do have armed security guards, why are they not doing what? First of all, I feel the schools need more metal detectors and anything because you never know. It's like it's always ironic. Somebody managed to slip through the cracks and bring something to the school. It's just like the 6 year old boy. Now they done charged the boy mother with the situation because he shot. I think he shot a teacher. But my thing is, how did he get the gun? How you and then somebody tried to get mad. Well, why are they going to take her in full? Because that's her responsibility at the end of the day. Like anybody, if that had been the father, he'd have took the loss.
Right, right. And so, and who knows if one of these teachers go rogue, like they have a bad day and they just have an acute psychotic episode and they get to carry a gun in the school now. What if they just, go off? I mean, it happens, unfortunately, and it can happen anywhere. I don't ever want to teach my children to live in fear. Um, my 70-year-old at one time, he said fear equals death, and that's one thing that he taught me is fear equals death. And I'm not going to live in fear, but I'm not going to teach my children to live in fear either, and or to put them in harm's way. So if your child does have to attend a public school, just teach them what to look out for as far as a shooter goes. Because don't wait on the teachers or the school to teach them how to protect themselves. You're gonna have to teach them again. It's our responsibility. You brought that child into this world. It's your responsibility to teach them how to protect themselves when they're going out into the world and you're not around. The word, you had a couple of
yeah,
questions.
yeah. I had a couple questions. So far as like advancement to the next level, is there like a quarterly test that they have to take that's like state required, or is it something like a
In
test
Texas,
at the end?
In Texas, no, you just have to. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. In Texas, you just have to keep your curriculum. That's what our law requires. We don't have to take our now. Like I said, you got to check with Michigan. I think that's where you are. Check check with them to see what they require. If they require a yearly exam, just to make sure they're on track, because um, what they fear is that we're going to put unlearned people out into society. So I do know that if you want here in Texas, if you want your child to graduate uh, with um, a Texas official um, diploma, you do have they do have to test. They have to do those star tests and stuff. So, but that, like I said, that's after 12th grade. But between now and then, I don't have to test him here in Texas. But definitely call Michigan or your local public school system, the ISD, and ask them what the requirements are. Because I think you said you have a 3-year-old, so you have like maybe a year or two to figure out how you're going to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, for me, uh, I just had my kids. My oldest is a 3-year-old, but it's groups. Like I like that you mentioned that you don't have to do it alone because I was part of a group where um, I actually taught self-defense, and it wasn't even part of the state requirement curriculum, but it was something they incorporated. And it's a bunch. It's like 4 or 5 parents that take a group of 10 kids and teach them different things. Each parent has a responsibility to teach a different curriculum, and they added agriculture, financial literacy, and self-defense into the curriculum. So the kids still were able to socialize, get that socialization. So that's another option too. I like that you mentioned that because that's
Yeah,
what I'm planning to do.
yeah, it's a great idea. If you have that in your community, I definitely would encourage get to know the people, get to know if you already know them, great. But if you don't, vet them out. Make sure you're there. Y'all are on the same page as far as what you want to teach and how, and um, you you guys have the same type of mindset. Cause some of them, you got to feel comfortable leaving your child, in someone else's hands. Period. So yeah, and like I said, they do have homeschooling groups. I know on Facebook you can join, and like they had a homeschooling prom here in the Austin area, which I thought was cool. I was like, oh, that's neat. They can still go to prom. They can still go do those league activities at the rec center. If you want them to be in sports and stuff, they can still be involved. It's not like they're completely out of society. Like you can still have some immersion for them to um, stay, stay involved and know how to deal with society as a whole and how to be social. And so they're not socially awkward, because you can get that where children become socially awkward because they're not around a lot of people all day. So that's why I mentioned those groups too, for for learning and social skills, to have both. Like my son's in basketball. He's in a little basketball league. Excuse me, y'all. He's in a little basketball league. He was in soccer. So you can still keep your children involved with other children. You can make play dates, stuff like that. There's all kinds of other ways to incorporate having that social life for your child.
And also, you made it when you said indoctrination. I don't think too many people are aware of what's actually like the school system, how it's structured. And a lot of
Mhm.
people want to believe that it's preparing them for life, and it's not. It's preparing them to be a worker. It's not giving them any financial understanding or
Right.
self-sustainability. It's literally gearing them to be a 9 to 5 worker in society. So
Right.
I like the fact that you're not restricted of what you can teach your child because let's
Mhm.
face it, I'm not saying everybody, but when kids go to school and they come home, a lot of people don't say, okay, well, now I'm gonna teach you financial literacy. Now we're gonna learn gardening. Now, it's not the things that's actually will make them self-sustainable when they're adults. They're not
Exactly.
teaching this stuff in class. So that's one of the main options. I'm doing homeschooling with my kids is because I want to prepare them for life, not just get them ready to work.
Exactly. They say that the inner city schools, this I don't know, remember where I got this from. It may have been from that Prison to Pipeline um documentary. I can't remember who put that out. I want to say, was it Michelle Alexander? It may have been her. She had that book out in a documentary. But anyway, the inner city schools are to teach how to be a worker. The suburb schools are how to teach to be a boss, and the private schools are how to teach to be the owner. And if you think about it, that's pretty much what has happened. And if you look at the history of how, which I won't delve into because I don't know it off the top of my head, but how kindergarten and the school system started, then you realize that it really is all a setup from the get up. And yeah, we have to broaden our children. Even if you have your children in public school and you feel like that's the best place for them, do something on the weekend that teaches them how to own a business. Or if you own a business, take them with you to do some whatever work you do. Like, I have an aunt and uncle that own a cleaning business. They've always taken their children with them to do their work, to work with them. That way they can see the ins and out of the business in case they want to leave the business to one of their children. They'll know how to run it. So there are other ways. You can teach your children when you do your taxes. Take them with you to learn how to do the taxes. Of course, at a appropriate age where they can understand it. There's ways around just allowing the school system to instruct your children. We have a role as well as their primary teacher, and that's to set them up for success for the rest of their life. So it goes to the self sustainability, like you said, the word, because how are you going to know what to do if the grocery stores don't have food on the shelves? Do you know how to make a garden? Do you know how to grow a garden? Do you know how to prep? I'm teaching my family. They know how to prep. We started prepping during the pandemic. Teach them how to prep, how to like you said, self-defense. There's so many other things that the school system does not teach that we have still opportunity to teach at home. And we should not be. That's the one thing that gets me. Why don't the schools teach this? I'm like, what the hell? Did you just let that come out your mouth?
Right.
Like,
Because
no.
when my
You are the
backup
first.
page build,
Huh?
oh, I'm sorry. I was about to say, with my backup page, when I get enough subscribers, I got that information for you. I'm gonna do the origin of the public school system. I got all because my sister, she just graduated with a doctor's degree, and her
Uh-huh.
major is psychology and education. And what she does is go to schools and try to implement different things, such as like right now she's trying to get vocations back in school. Like she just review like their results as far as like their tests and stuff and see what they need. But during her well, I forgot what they call it. But during one of her seminars that she was like introducing herself and what she do, she noticed that, like you said, in private school, um, the curriculum is more geared towards becoming like ownership. Like they got different financial programs, and these are like vocational programs. And then when she went to public school, she noticed they didn't have none of that. So she's trying to take the curriculum out of private school and incorporate it into public schools now.
That's awesome. I commend her for that because we need it. And, you know, that's one thing that some of these schools around here are doing. They're incorporating a dental assistant program in one of the schools. They've got where they're teaching how to be a nurse aide. Like those are things they can actually take and use for real after, like, let's say they want to just get through, to help them to get through college. Even they have that trade, and they can get themselves, they can have that extra money to, go work and then pay for some of their schooling, or whatever they need for school if they decide to go on to college. I mean, you come out of high school with a trade. That's what's up. And some of the schools here have it. Not all the schools, but there's a few like within each suburb or city in the Austin area that have the trade programs in it. I'm not sure who's up here.
Magruder, what up, man?
What's up, Day? How you doing, family?
Showing. Salute and blessings to everybody that popped in the chat.
Salute to the chat.
Multitask,
Salute
multitasking.
Nick. Did great. Good conversation, man. I rest with you, man. You know what I mean. And I'll touch on what y'all talking about if I can.
Yeah. Nah,
First,
because I left it open though.
Yeah, what do you have to add to it, Magruder?
from what I heard, y'all talking about. I heard about the schools and giving the kids in the community and activities. Like I keep my son in everything. Like he don't like everything, but he keeps it moving. You know what I'm saying? I get him off the games because the games are controlling. And what they're doing with the games, I think, is they're putting stuff on the head because all the promotions, there's the rappers and stuff, like the songs you hear they saying on there, it's through the games now. And I think they're brainwashing our kids. So we gotta get our kids outside more. And that's where the activities come in. But you can have activities with the kids without people. So the adults gotta get our stuff right. So bottom line is we need our community back, you know? And it ain't gotta be everybody, because even back then it wasn't everybody. Even when we had a good community in the hood, it wasn't everybody, but it was the majority. Where somebody messed up, then you still was messed up because the majority wasn't with that bullshit. Excuse my language, but
Hmm.
we need we need love. We already got God, you know what I'm saying? But we need to love each other more, and the separation of the men and the women is not helping. Like they're teaching our kids to not even deal with each other. That's what they're doing right now. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to do it from the home front first. Even when you send them to school, I don't care if it's private, Catholic, public, any school, they're on social media now. So everybody getting it from social media. So they're all the same now. Back in the day was a difference. You know what I mean? You knew a city school from a suburb school back then. There's no difference now because they're watching the same videos. You feel me? All these kids are the same now. So we got to watch what they're watching and tap into what they're doing and sometimes really block that shit off. Because that's what's raising them now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying everybody. Like I have time for my son. Even with working, I got time and I make time to check his phone, check his PS5, check his tablet. I know what he's doing, but even then, I might be outside smoking a cigarette. I don't know what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? We have to pay attention But as a collective, we're not together where the neighbor can check yours. That's where we fucking up at now. You know what I'm saying? See, back then the neighbor will have your kid too. They don't care no more because they worry about what the parent gonna say. They don't want that confrontation. So we gotta get back to a community where we love each other and quit being selfish and just go from there. Quit depending on what you're doing and quit supporting them. That's a, that's my number one pet peeve right now with black people. Is we're
No, no,
supporting.
Magruder, no disrespect, bro, but the topic is homeschool. We
Okay,
getting off topic. Yeah, we just
even
getting off
okay.
topic, bro.
Oh, I thought, but even homeschool, I support that because you can teach your kid what you want them to know. You feel me? Do not get to nothing. It's unfiltered. It's straight raw. So I agree with that. But everybody can't do that. But even if you're not homeschooling them, you can still homeschool them. Feel me? Your kid can go to school every day, and you can bring them home, and they can do their work. You can still teach them some more. You have time for that though. That's homeschooling too, right?
But hey, Leticia, I
Yeah.
got a question to ask.
Uh-huh.
Cause you, how you said you spend like 45 minutes to an hour a day for school.
Uh-huh.
Um,
On
Now
average, it's
even with
30 minutes, to be honest with you. But sometimes it ends up being 45 minutes. Just depends on the curriculum again. But I've noticed just over this year, it's been on average 30 minutes if we're, we stay on top of it. I actually use an egg timer to time his work. That way he's not staring out into space or, you kind of got to keep them, disciplined, of course, still because they think, oh, I'm at home. This, they don't really differentiate the two. So you have to create that um, almost, I don't want to say an illusion, but it can be for them. It's like, no, this is homeschool time. This is study time. This is education time. Whatever you want to label it, enlightenment time. Whatever works for you. And I created a space in our front dining room for his classroom. So I think I've posted some pictures or a video up on my channel, and I plan to post more about it. Sorry, y'all, I'm plugging my phone and it's gonna die. But we used the front dining room and changed it into a classroom. So it's Kai's classroom. And he knows that's his room, it's his classroom, and when he's there, it is to be treated like a classroom. So that's how we did it here. Um, but yeah, 30 minutes is typical time. Like I said, for 45 minutes is kind of like if we do an extra activity, like a science experiment, stuff like that. But yeah,
What's her
now
name?
is, is that a subject or is that just for the day?
per you said, is that per subject?
Yeah.
Oh no, no, that's for the whole day.
Now that's interesting because, like in school, I just always felt like it was too much time. And that's probably because that gives the teacher enough time to actually interact with all the kids or the whole class.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Ex-
that's interesting because even my sister was saying that. She said at max, because during the pandemic she was doing homeschool, and she said
uh,
at max, for the whole day it might add up to like an hour, hour and a half. But she had three small kids, so she
oh
teaching them
yeah,
different things.
yeah. Well, you
So
got three children. You're gonna have to spend more time. Yeah, for sure. Because they might be on different. Because you got one who's a newborn, so she's gonna be learning a different level at a different level than your son when it comes time to homeschool both of them. So yeah, you're gonna spend more time with them together, but you'll get to practice on your 3-year old now. That way you can um do your own self checks and say, okay, and remember, each child's different too. So she's
Okay.
going to learn different than your son. So you have to learn what his learning style is. You're going to have to learn what her learning style is. And what you're going to do with your son is he's going to be your protege. He's going to be the one that you get to kind of, I don't want to call him, he's going to be your, he's going to be your, the one that you uh
Experiment on.
used to experiment on. I don't want to use that word because it's, but either way, yeah, he's going to be your experiment. And it's a good experiment because you're teaching him, Dad. And so he's going to learn from you. And that way you can say, okay, I need to do this next time, or I'm going to tweak this. Like I said, because we were doing 15-minute increments at first. And then I was like, no, that's just, it's not working for us. Because we would either not get to the rest of the stuff, the work, or something would happen, right? So I'm like, we'll just get it all done. And they're so small, especially at his age. The activities and the worksheets he does are, they're so short, I'll say. They it may take him 5 to 10 minutes to finish each worksheet or each assignment. So right now, like, my son knows his full address. He knows me and his stepdad's phone number. He knows how to do science experiments. He's growing a garden. This is a 5-year old. He knows that cow milk is not good for you because it has pus and blood in it. he he's a very advanced 5-year old. He has a wider range of vocabulary. And I don't say this to brag, I say this because it's what he's showing. And I've seen this in other homeschoolers. Like I said, my nephew, he was homeschooled, and my I watched how he blossomed, and he's just like, he's out there. He's already, like, he's driving a car, and this boy is only 7 or 8 years old. Like, but he's a tall 8-year old, y'all. He can touch the he can actually see over the wheel, and his feet will touch the gas and all the pedals. He can drive a car.
Big boy.
But this is what they've been able to teach him because he's at home and he's homeschooled. I'm not saying you can't do it. You might have to find time on the weekend, like I said before. If your child is in a public school, do something to teach your child life learning exercises, life things that are going to help them in life. Like I said, prepping, like the word said, self-defense, um, gardening. There's so much that they don't teach in the public school system. You can still have impact on your child's education by teaching them taxes, finances, how to balance a checkbook, things like that are going to help them in life, how to get a loan, how to fill out an application, all of that. Like, there's still so much more as a parent you can teach your children and don't have to wonder why the school system didn't do it. So
Just take time, right?
it just takes time. And that means maybe, you say, well, 30 minutes on Saturday, I'm going to teach you something. I'm going
That's
to teach
also
you
it.
something that's going to help you in life.
That's why I was
You
trying to say that. Like, even if they go to public school, when they come home, you teach them what you want to teach them too. You know what I mean? On top of that, there's assignments and everything. So I agree with you.
Yeah, because it's important. And I say that because I see a lot of times that we are either overwhelmed by the idea, or we want to blame the powers that be for
Right.
why we're in the situation we're in. But that's because we've given up that power. We
And you
know
should have
full
you should
power.
have had
Yeah.
fire, right?
Say it again.
And you just should have had fire. So everybody got to have fire.
Exactly.
So I understand. What's your name? I'm sorry. I need your name.
It's Letitia.
But you talking real knowledge right there.
Yeah. But we give our power away when we say, well, they this or they that. I don't do that. I stopped doing
Right.
that some years ago. You're not going to tell me what I can and cannot teach my children. You're not going to tell me I can't grow a garden. You're not going to tell me that I got to rely on you to give me my energy. Like, you need to have a generator. I'll,
Mm-hmm.
you need to show your child how to set up a backup generator for your home.
Okay.
You need to teach your children how to get water if they need to get water. You know what kind of tree to look for to get
See,
water out.
see,
Things are
I
water.
got lucky. I got a boy, right? He'll be 8. He'll be 8 next week. And I try to teach him everything to be a man. Not too fast, but not too slow. You know? Like I'm hard on him, but I'm not overbearing him. So he can have his ABCs and one, two, threes at school, but I got to teach him about life. I mean, so I like what you're trying to say. Like teach them young, get them young as you had 5. That's what's up. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's important.
it's
You
very
said
important,
because you're their first teacher. You,
and they're watching you,
hmm
even my movements. You know
Yep,
what I'm saying? Even my movements without even teaching them, I'm teaching them because he's watching me. You feel what I'm saying?
exactly.
He watched every move I make, and I realized that, and I want to be the best I can be. I'm way better. I wasn't bad before, but with him, I'm way better. He makes me better. Put it that way, because I
Yeah,
know I want to put him out in this world slipping.
yeah.
'Cause I
You
know
got to
what's
set
out
them
here.
up for success.
Yeah, set him up for success best I can.
Yeah.
Hey, Leticia, I appreciate you, sis. I do want to do a part two of this. I would like to get my sister and you to have dialogue. Because I
Okay.
think the combination between y'all two, I think we can bring out even more information. From two different aspects, from someone homeschooling and then someone going into the schools and a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
issues and doing like a compare and contrast. I think that'd be dope too. But
Oh, definitely.
I'm gonna drop down. Nate, brother, I appreciate you again for allowing us to use your platform.
Fuck y'all niggas. Get up off my shit. I'm fucking with that. I told y'all
You,
niggas I'm massively petty today. Yeah.
you know, at some point he had to resort to violence. Everybody
I
in the
know.
chat,
Did he
appreciate
already
y'all.
tell me?
Hey
Yeah.
Nate, you know
Hey,
I fuck with you, Nate, man.
Oh fuck. Oh
hey, do me
shit.
a favor.
I
Everybody
beat
in
the
the chat,
bushes,
do me a
man.
favor. Help your boy spread the word. Hit my link, man. Subscribe to me. It's free. I'm bringing more information. But Leticia, when that backup page come, I'm gonna need you too because some of the information that I'm gonna be non-apologetic about it, but I got the facts with it. So
Yeah, that's what's up.
we'll do. Yeah.
Hey, let me know. You know, usually it's easier for me to come on at around this time that we came on.
Who's got the
Um,
word?
but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
I'm
know.
just I'm here as a vessel to share what knowledge I have and however I can help grow whatever tribe you're with
Man,
or grow your tribe, and that way you can figure it out from there. It's the information that this information age, so no one can say they don't know when you have $1 million device sitting in your hand.
you know what's sad though, for real? And they being everybody's stuff, man. He said 50, 60 in the chat right now. They know him. That's what's sad to me because he talked to real all the time. You know what I mean? And it's sad that he gives everybody else love, and nobody comes show love and sit back and just chit chat with him on some real shit. He don't want to talk about some real shit.
But you know what? That's cool too because it ain't for everybody. What we
Yeah,
do ain't for
I know.
everybody.
I
It's for
feel
the
you,
right
but
people. You know?
I'm just saying, fam. You know what I'm talking about, though.
I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. But shit, if you put
I
that
see
many
Nate.
people in the chat, sometimes you get
Yeah,
disruption. We like to
yeah. I hear you.
build, like to
Yeah.
bring information, so it's tight the way we do it. But
I feel you.
definitely, I'm gonna go on
And I
later, man.
figure how I look at it, Magruder, is if I can help one person, that's one more person outside of myself that I've helped to impact,
Yeah,
that I've been able to share my journey as a homeschooling parent with. And
right,
they can take my story and journey and they can do with it what they want and see how it works for them. Like I said, it's
right.
all a learning process. Every day I plan to learn something new.
Yeah,
And
me too.
that's
It's just sad that people don't
that's
want to
just how
learn.
it is.
But
Everybody's
this,
not gonna be on the
yeah,
same
everybody
page.
coming.
We can't be, you know.
Hey,
But it's a blessing whenever we can share what we do have, the knowledge we have, and then they can go share it with someone in real life out offline, and
right.
it becomes a domino effect eventually, you know, because
They don't really give a man a chance.
we got to get back to community. Even if it's online, we got to get back to community and unifying as
Preach,
people.
baby. That's what I've been talking about. Community.
Yeah, but
We need.
everybody's not
We.
gonna be in the community. So
I
I'm
know.
good with who's in the community. If it
Yeah, I
ain't
hear
for
you.
them, it's not for them to be here.
We gonna have police too.
Yeah,
You might be in there, nigga. You can't come. I hear
yeah.
you.
Everybody ain't what the Bible thumper say. The
Yeah,
the head of the needle is small for a reason.
yeah. I hear you.
So
Everybody ain't
Everybody ain't
coming.
welcome. Everybody ain't welcome. Shit.
Everybody, they ain't
yeah,
coming.
I can't fuck with everybody. I'm just being
So,
real. I can only fuck with people who think
exactly.
for themselves.
man,
You
I
can't
got
push
I
me.
just want some
like-minded
soldiers,
people.
Nonsense.
man. Hey, honestly, Nate, and what's the word, right?
Yeah. Hey, bro. Why? Sis always. No, Draco always say we sound alike. We don't sound alike.
Nah, but I wanted some soldiers. I want some real men. Just don't want to gossip. Just want to talk some real stuff, man, and want to make a change, like for real. Like
Come
it's
check me out, bro.
we watching we watching all this garbage in front of, and we're at the age where we're the ones that know enough from the past to the future to change some stuff, you know. And
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask
yeah,
you a question.
go ahead, bro.
Do you talk about it or do you be about it?
I'm all about it in my
Hey, come
community.
check me out. Come check the page out, bro. Come check me out. We
I,
do this every night. We
I
do it
got you.
on Nate's
I
page,
got you.
then we go on my page. We
I saw
talking
you on that.
about
I saw you in the chats, man. I be peeping you.
we
I saw you on the panel before. I heard you, man, before.
Yeah, so
talking
I mean,
about
we're
criticism versus constructive criticism
but
tonight.
I feel bad for them panels because they ain't saying nothing no more, man. They just talk about, they're not trying to build no more. So I'm off that. I hear you though. But I heard you before though. So I got your respect. You know what I mean?
Magruder, let me stop you real quick, real brother, man, because
Stop
you
me.
ain't been in here in a hot minute. I don't want to hear that shit. You sound like one of them other ones that said, "Oh,
I be in the bushes. I mean, look, I be
Bush,
driving.
Bush draft these damn cans that I just took out the damn store." I ain't trying to hear that shit, brother, man. Tap in and say something, my dude. Fuck wrong with you, man? But wait till
What you
your
say?
page open up. Watch what I do. Wait, look. Wait till your page open up, motherfucker. I'm gonna be right on your shit. I'm like, look at this nigga. As soon as you drop the link, nigga. What up? I'm taking over your show. Tired of
You
your
bet.
shit. Talking about
Hey, you
Bushwatch.
better come through
Hey,
anytime,
hey,
motherfucker. You
my,
know you welcome, man.
Mm.
hey,
You
my
know you
group.
welcome,
So,
man. Cause
so
you
check
look,
this out.
you had the whole
I should say,
blueprint, Nate, for real, for me. Like you come with the poetry, the chill shit, the music, and the real shit, man. I mean, so I gotta respect that. Real brother, I don't know you from a can of paint, man. But I fuck with you. Promise you that.
that's where I picked it up from.
I mean, where I'm at right now, man.
Nate got the blueprint.
The blueprint. He had
He
a
got it.
blueprint. He had poetry night. I write little raps every now and then. I like the real shit. And I can have like music too. So well, let's get it.
So
You
Magruder,
know?
I should see a new sub, right? In a minute. I should see a
Yeah, I'm
new
gonna
sub.
find you, fam. I got you.
I'm about to put it in the link. I'm about to put it in the chat now. But Nate, I'll get with you later, bro. Leticia, appreciate you, sis. And like I
Respect,
said,
man.
we're gonna do the part two.
all right. If
Yeah.
y'all want to holler at me, like I said, you can check my email is in on my description on my page. And if you just want to ask me some questions, if I know the answer, I'll give it to you. If not, I'll find the resource that can give you the correct answer. But I hope I was able to enlighten anyone out there who's interested in homeschooling their children, and you can decide from here like how you want to move with your child, and maybe down the road you might make that decision. But like I said, check out my description and send me an email if you have any questions, because I know it can be a lot of information at one time, and it can sometimes feel overwhelming even thinking about it, because I was once in that place myself. So much love, Nate. Good to see you, Magruder. Thank you again, the word. I'm out. Peace.
No doubt, Leticia. Anytime the panel open, you're more than welcome.
Thank you, bro.
And definitely
All right,
appreciate you
Nate,
for
we gonna
sharing
cook.
out the information.
All right, Nate, we gonna close it up. But I be in the bushes, man. A lot of time. I fuck with you, man. Let's be chilling, man. But keep doing what you doing, man. You always got support from me because you doing the best thing on here for me, in my eyes. Because you ain't sugarcoating and you come with the real. I mean, it's
I
always
ain't got no
something.
choice.
It's always something. It's always in the bill, and from a regular nigga, from like niggas like us, that's what the kids need to hear. A regular brother like us talking the real shit, man. And once they get it, we got them. You feel me? And I
Yeah.
ain't gonna stop till I get them.
Hmm.
I ain't gonna stop till I get them. I say we going live. I say I ain't been making no videos, but I'm on it though. I'm figuring it out, you know. But I can
Nah,
still fuck with niggas
man.
like you, man. You got my respect on some real shit. And now I'm gonna know you, but I respect you, bro. So
Appreciate that. Nah, man. 'Cause man, listen, that's all I can do is be myself. Anybody that know me personally that be in the chat to tell you, this is just this nigga. He a fool, but he a fucking funny fool and a truthful fool on
yeah.
top of that.
But you the last soldiers out here, like we the look, you give a fuck. You give a fuck. You feel me? That's the problem. They brothers don't
Yeah.
care. That's why we stuck out here. If the men don't care, how we gonna win without the men? You hear me?
Yeah.
That's the talk, man. I don't care
Nah,
where you
you
from,
absolutely
where
right,
you
man.
at. If we don't care, we lost. Our kids is lost.
Okay. Hold up. Is that Papa Snossage? Papa
Mm-hmm.
Will. Papa Willie, what's going on, man? Like,
I don't. Hey, what's up, Nate? Nate, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I brought him up.
I'm not trying to be signed in. Can you hear me?
yeah, you good. I can't see your fucking your emoji on your shit, but you good. I know it's you. What the hell?
He was up
Papa
here.
Will, what the hell happened again?
He dropped back down.
Son of a
He dropped back down. Look.
Yeah, hip hop back up 9 out of 10. He probably going through
You be
something with his
laughing at
thing
niggas
now.
and shit. And you're a funny nigga too,
Nah,
man.
because
You
I'm
be
just sitting
laughing.
there saying the fuck. Nah, but I'm supposed to, bro. I ain't got no time to be sitting here. Man, listen, I done been through all of that. I done been
Yeah,
through all of that anger stage, depression stage. I've been past all of that, nigga.
right.
Like, shoot.
I call it the OG call, man. It's called the
Yeah.
OG call. OG talking, man. Listen. Now listen, bro. Real rap. But I'm OG too. You know what I mean? So I say what I gotta say and I go from there. But I do it out in the real world, really. I mean, my youngest love me, you know what I'm saying? But they don't listen all the time. Cause they out there. Some of them was out there for real. And they ain't coming back. But I try to get to who I can get to, you know. But that's what it is. My son ain't gonna be out there, you know. He ain't got a chance. He got me.
That's how it's supposed to be. The fucking men gonna have to raise the youth, and the family dynamic got to come back together. That's mostly it.
Yeah, we need a family. We need look. We need the men to care more, man. There's a lot of dudes, man, that walk. Man, I see dudes walk past their son, bro. You feel
Oh no,
me?
look, don't get it twisted. I've seen this, and then in the same token, I call it both ways because it's not just men that's doing fuck shit. You got like I was talking about this morning with like in yesterday. You got some women doing fuck shit as we speak now. Like
Oh,
if you want full custody, you got some of them. That my thing is if you want all of that fucking custody and just want to be in control of the situation, then that means you have to take all the responsibility that comes with it. You can't get mad and then thinking the man is still paying what the fuck he got to pay in child support, but you just mad because now you said you want full custodial rights and everything. Okay, so that means you got to put in some of your money too to raise them kids. What you think? It's just gonna be the man fucking no.
Give me. Hey Nick, give me 1 second.
All right. No, you more than welcome, Leticia. Like I said, anytime the panel is open, if y'all need to do something, I'm all for it. Even though I know I didn't have much to really add, but that's because I already kind of spoke on half of the stuff I was speaking on before. You know, like if you're gonna have your kids in the school system, they're supposed to be protected at all costs. You know, what the hell? Why is it not adding you? I fault.
Okay.
Damn, stream, I'm not trying to add you. You about to make me throw my phone, Papa Will. Stop dropping off.
Hey, the spirits, the negative spirits just didn't want me to get up here and share. Okay, so I saw them all. I broke out in a sweat. I put my little thing down, and I'm in my t-shirt, ready to go. They couldn't beat me, you know. But were y'all able to hear anything I was saying while I was trying to get logged in? I don't know why I was logged out.
I heard you, and then you dropped the fuck off quick. I said, what the hell just happened?
Well, it wasn't me, man. You know, I grew up with that. You know, I grew up being accused of shit that I didn't do. So I learned how to sit and do nothing but what I was told, because I was a criminal. I was a 4-year-old criminal. Okay, because at 5, I already knew how to count. I knew how to read, and they wouldn't even let me in school because they said, well, you're only 4 and you have to be 5 to get in. I said, I thought it was all based on intelligence. My mama done spent all this time teaching me how to read, teaching me how to count, and now it's time for me to come and share that, and I can't get in? Oh, boy.
Oh, wait a minute, Papa Will. You know I'm about to start roasting somebody, right?
Oh, no, who you got? Because I'm over here, back here with you, man. Who you going to get on now? Security.
Nah, we don't need security. I'm about to fucking burn this Budweiser can face ass. Nigga, when you come in here, you say what up to Nate and everybody else, you fucking Shaolin monk face bitch.
Yeah,
This what got you chewed out last night, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Petty Rippleton over here, man. When you come in here, you say what up, bro. Stop being a fucking light-skinned prick today, man. About to make me burn your ass today. Old white. Fuck. Come on here with that disrespectful shit today. But watch me watch me have a live, bro. I swear I'm not even saying nothing to you at all, bro. I'm gonna just come in there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put people on timeout. That's how petty I am. I'm Petty Rippleton for real, motherfucker. I mean,
who talking about, Nate? He said Petty
talking
Rippleton.
about this fucking potato face, French fry face ass nigga, man. Coming in here not saying nothing to the host. That's why you about to I find out tomorrow. You find out. You about to lose that wrench and everything, old head. I think your honorary shit about to be over with, homie. Fuck out of here. Go put your face in a whole 350-degree oven, nigga, and go burn yourself for the next 2 years, nigga. Don't come in here with that disrespectful shit. I knew it was gonna be one get half a tank face ass nigga to come in here with that bullshit. My bad, y'all. Y'all good.
Boy, Nate make me want to start that V word up in here. Who to take it out, Nate? You know, it's my nature. I mean, you know, I'm bipolar. I'm a nice guy, but man, you start talking like that.
Maybe on some positive shit that snap the fuck out. Like,
you know, I believe in gang banging and shit, man. Don't fuck with my friends.
That's crazy.
Hey, who you talking about? I don't see nobody I don't know in here. Who you talking about, Nate? I didn't ask because I figured it out. I figured it out who you was talking
about. That's
what
you do.
But you should have known as soon as I scroll down and see you talking to everybody else, man, you gonna get this work, man. Every time you come in here now, old whites, you gonna get this work, nigga. I'm just letting you know that right now.
But
still every time, but you gonna have some fucking respect. You do that shit in everybody else chat, not over here now.
In his defense, I noticed what he was doing. He was speaking to the ladies because he did get down there and give you capitalized respect, and then me. because I'm just security around here, you know. But anyway, for
Pop
serious,
your nigga that scalp piece, man.
for
Shit.
serious though, I'm a highly educated individual because I'm self-educated. Because, like I said,
Yeah.
I'm a criminal, right? And a criminal's got to be educated. But what is going on in our society now is a direct result of their parents.
Yeah.
Parents, because my mama was the smartest educated person I knew at 4 years old. And then I got older and learned she only went to the fourth grade. I'm like, how you get to be so damn smart? And you only went to the fourth grade. And so I wanted to be better than her. I wanted to be smarter than my mama. And that's where our children miss. They don't look up to their parents as their heroes.
Yeah.
Children are growing up and having their parents as their zeros.
Right.
You
That's the
know,
media, man.
well, you could blame it on media, but when I was growing up, man, TV was black and white, and it was all white people. There wasn't no black people on TV when I was growing up. But now you got that, but you got to be careful. You're right. You got to be careful of what black
Still
programs,
watch the
because
picture.
you got to be
But
careful
now,
what black
now,
programs you're letting
but
your kids
now,
watch. You better hurry up, Magruder, because I was on the roll there. I stopped for you.
What the hell?
Is he okay?
hey, Papa,
Yeah, yeah.
what they don't understand is,
Mm-hmm.
all right, well,
What's up?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm rolling with you. I ain't gonna say the
Oh,
topic. I'm saying is,
because
what
I'm
I'm trying
very
to say is, the black programs is getting made by the white people.
Yep,
Music ain't controlled by black. You feel me? Everything is
yep,
black ain't black. It's the
yep.
propaganda, bro.
It's
That's all.
propaganda and brainwashing.
It's the
That's what
propaganda,
I
man.
didn't want to
They
get.
make it for what exactly, man.
I didn't want to get off the topic here of homeschooling, but that is the topic. Our children, you was brainwashed. I was brainwashed.
I was
We
brainwashed.
have raised generations of brainwashed children that like she said earlier. I don't have my glasses on. Leticia said,
Yeah.
if you ain't teaching your kids to own their own business, you are failing them. And
Failing.
I can say that because I was raised, like I said, I knew how to read, write, and count before I even went to school. And when I got to kindergarten, I had my own candy. I had my own Bolo Best, my own Jackson shit, selling them at recess. Why? Because I was raised in a family where they all owned their own business. My auntie, I couldn't wait to get tall enough to see over the counter of my Aunt Debbie's confectionery. And when I got tall enough, is when they tried to put me out of school because I was stealing all the candy business out of the store across the street. Now you know your mom didn't want you going all the way across the street from school in kindergarten, first grade. Your mama, you wasn't supposed to be going across that street, but the third graders would take you. So guess what? I learned what the third graders was eating and spending their little money on, and I started selling them that. So then the school want to try to tell me how school wasn't a place to be selling stuff to your schoolmates. I'm like, what kind of place is this then? What the hell am I doing in a place that tells me I shouldn't want to own my own business? These people are crazy up in here, And it wasn't that I was in no white school. I wasn't in a white school till I was in the third, fourth grade. But from first to third grade, it was all black, and they was teaching us to be losers, to be little imprisoned, dumbass children.
But
And
to
that
me, I
has
think
gone on generation after generation to right up to goddamn now. There's a parent having a child right now where they ain't giving no influence or education or
nothing.
knowledge to that child about own your own shit, be the smartest person on this planet. Because if more children were raised that way, there'd be less of them running around here with guns. How the fuck you gonna get a gun? Where you getting
Or
guns from?
or cater to their abilities. Because every kid's not
Yeah.
gonna be a brainiac, but They can work with their hands. They gonna do something like
Yeah,
you. You you as a parent should know your child. So
yeah.
go with their strengths
You the
and
first
guide them
person
towards that.
to tell them.
And whatever that is, you're the first person to know your child.
And if you ain't
You know what I'm saying?
influencing that child, I can. My mama worked. She cleaned house for some rich white people, way, way the fuck away from where we lived. So by the time we woke up and was getting dressed to go to school, as I got older, my mama was already gone to get that damn bus to go get that $30 a week she was being paid. Okay,
Right.
but we had instructions, and my
Mm-hmm.
mama, she was a highly intelligent woman. My daddy worked hard as hell on a produce roll, but when he came home, he would count his nickels, his dimes, his pennies on the kitchen table, and he made me sit down there and count them with him. But how much is 5 nickels? 25 cents, Daddy. How much is 99 pennies? 99 cents, Daddy. And this is at 4 years old before I even got to go outside to go to some day on school. I couldn't wait to get outside to go to school because I
Right.
knew, if I was getting raised this smart, man, imagine how much smarter than me the kids were at school whose parents had gone to high school. I couldn't wait to get around them, you know? But now,
Yeah.
what are kids? What's the most, man, I ride the bus, right? And I curse. I curse. I curse hardcore. I'm a hardcore cursor. But you know where I never cursed at? Where adults saw me. Never. You know why? Because it was disrespectful to curse
You was taught
around
that.
adults.
You was taught that.
I was taught that. You don't curse around adults. And even as an adult, you don't curse around other people's children
Let me tell you
because
something right now, Papa.
Mhm.
I walk to the park right now, and I hear every word in the book from every size a kid up to my knees talking like that.
Mhm.
So who's
The
doing
five
that? You know what I mean?
will talk to you like that. The 5-year-olds will talk to the 6-year-olds in your presence like that. And then when like I was looking at some 8-year-olds, I'm on my mobility device and I'm riding up the sidewalk, right? And they're standing there, not looking. I don't judge, but as I approach, they don't move. I mean,
But Papa,
okay.
though, you gotta understand though, it's different now because when you was coming up, and even toward the end, I was coming up, other parents could check people's kids back then. You
Hmm.
can't say nothing to nobody's kids nowadays.
Well, see,
Even the
I know
child
that.
is wrong. You're wrong for talking to the kid. Listen to what I'm saying, bro.
I know that.
Like
I
we
know
came
that
up
now.
where you probably got checked by. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now the kids go off to their parents, and they barely can check them.
And
They
why?
can't beat their
Why?
kids no more. Well,
You had this
I don't know.
child. Why is
Well,
how
I
how
do.
did this
I ain't talking about
child
them.
get to that point? How? Wait a minute. Don't even answer that question. We know how.
You
From
know
from
how
from 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 neglect.
it's neglect.
Neglect.
You got to
Neglect.
pay attention to your kids,
You got to pay attention to your
get in
kids.
their mind, ask them questions,
Yep.
ask them a lot of
You
questions,
got to be.
especially when they get
If you're not smarter than the
older.
school,
Like my son,
your children need to make you that smart.
he's getting older now. Right,
Magruder,
that man.
Magruder, what's
And then
happening, man?
the little shit they say, ask them what you just say. Even if it's nothing, get in their minds. Huh?
But okay, going with what I
What
was
you say,
saying,
bro?
here I'm riding up the sidewalk, and this kid, he's talking to his buddy, and he's just standing there, right? You know
Nate,
how you help children
I
that
can
way?
I can hear you, bro.
You can't hear me or Nate,
Yeah.
because Nate can be quiet and get his ass ready for work, like he did the word. I'm up here to run
I
his
can't hear
channel
you.
for him now until he comes
Say
back.
what you said.
You talking to me?
Say it again, bro.
You talking to me? I
I
gotta
heard
verify.
you ride.
Okay, so here I am.
I ain't
I'm
saying
riding up
nothing,
the street, right, on my mobility device, and this kid
but I can
is
hear you.
talking to me, and
I hear
he's
you
standing on
clearly
the street.
now. Say what you were saying, bro.
Okay, I am saying it. So
Yeah, you was
so
trying
I'm
to ask me a
the
question,
bottom
right?
line. The bottom line is this:
Yeah, neighbor,
when
I'm
I got
saying
up
that.
to
Magruder, what's going on with your mic, bro? Because Papa Will trying to say something, bro. Go ahead, Papa Will. My bad.
yeah, I understand. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: when I got up to that kid, I said, "Excuse me," and he moved right out my way. So there is some home training going on with the children, but the amount of it that they're being responsible for is really low. And I'm talking about 8 year olds now. I got 8 year old, I got a 10 and a
Yep,
12-year-old grandchild now that I know they know every
I hear
rule
you.
in the book of respect, you know, because they
I'm
daddy,
messing
my
up.
son. Like I said, I'm a criminal, you
I
know.
ain't saying that. Y'all hear me?
Magruder,
Now
Magruder.
you need to mute your mic if you're talking to somebody else, because I keep asking you if you're talking to me, I'll shut up. But you don't. You don't. It's like you can't
Look,
hear me.
Yo, Magruder, you might have to drop back down if you having a problem with the mic or whatever, bro. My bad. I'm over here trying to multitask. Go ahead, Papa Will. You good?
I hope so. Because all I'm trying to say is, homeschooling is a key. Is a key to a youth's education. But what are you homeschooling
right.
on? You got them there at home. You're talking about, well, she mentioned how in a school a
I
child is there for
I
eight
ain't saying
hours,
nothing.
but they're
I'm not saying nothing to. I'll try to hold on.
Go ahead, Papa Will.
okay. She was saying that a child is at school for 8 hours, but they're only getting 8 minutes individually. Well, how much time are the kids spending at home, and how much time are they getting with you, on an educational level? Because like I tell everybody, you should start your child out with a dictionary. Start them out with a dictionary. Make sure that when you're around them, they are learning how to spell and make sentences out of big words. And I don't mean bigger than a fifth grade reading comprehension level either. Just fifth grade. Just know, because the more time they spend with their education, like if your child walks out of an English class and starts speaking just like what they learned in that English class, that means it's working. Bring it home. Take it outside in the street to share it with your friends. Everybody's talking the same kind of language. There ain't no time to be having no gun, shooting nobody. No matter how upset you seem to think you are, that if you take other people's lives, it's because you don't have no more regard for your own, first of all. Because people that do that generally commit suicide. You know, they shoot up a bunch of people, then they kill themselves. Or they want police suicide. They want the police to take them out, you know, when they went in there. Where did that person get lost? They probably got lost being the type of person that had a whole lot of knowledge and nobody to share it with. School didn't share it. Mama, daddy didn't share it. Older brother, sister didn't share it. You just stuck with all this information and knowledge in your own head. And then at a point, it's got to bust out because my mama, she was frequently asking me, so what did you learn in school today? And I'd start talking to her, man, and then it became apparent to me that I was educating my mama. I was educating her on what I was getting from school. Because whatever I would say to her that she didn't understand, she would
You hear
ask
something
me
now?
more questions.
I'm not talking to
Magruder. Oh.
Look, I'm gonna jump down and y'all talk, okay? Because I might
Nah,
be
you
overwhelming.
nah, you good. Nah, you good, bro. I don't know if he thought he was on mute or whatever, but go
Is
ahead, bro. You good.
okay. Now here we go. Here we go. All I'm trying to say is, don't blame the outcome on the school. Don't have no blame. Don't have no blame. Because analyze your part. Because a lot of places, Nate, where you and I both go, everybody got that saying that thing or what kids, what parents, what school should do. And it's like a word said, if you ain't about it, what are you talking about it for? If you ain't helping, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Of course, the whole world needs help, but we got to start. And I've been saying this for forever. We have to teach young people how to be in business for themselves. Now, I ain't gonna brag on myself because I'm what do they call a senior member of any kind of group, whatever they call it. I'm that guy, right? But I'm gonna tell you, in California now, I don't throw shine on me because I work for the Lord. Like I said, I'm a criminal. I done committed all kind of crimes. Just never went to prison on none of them because I was too educated, right? To do the kind of crimes that people wind up in the penitentiary for doing. But I am well known in the Bay Area of Northern California for teaching would-be thugs out in the street, would-be dropouts out of school, teaching them how to be in business for themselves in the music industry, you know? And a lot of them made it. I have them now. They're trying to tell me what to do, and I don't disrespect them in it. I just let them know that hey, my position over here is what I'm doing. Fit yourself in it because I'm still doing. You got grown children. We want to turn our businesses over to our children. My grandchildren, my granddaughter, she's over here being a DJ, and my grandson with his he's a very intelligent motherfucking kid. Well, what to tell you, he's over here rapping better than his daddy ever did, and he reminds me of his daddy because my son was the same way. My son didn't hang out in the streets. Yeah, when they went to the skate park, yeah, they wrote lyrics down, but man, my son raps like he went to school or something. Man, it ain't all that old thug ass shit. Pimping and hoeing and killing people and shooting. I asked a kid one time. I did comedy, and there's one kid I knew his daddy. I knew his daddy growing up. His daddy didn't even hang out with us, right? But now here's his son on stage talking about capping people. And I asked him, I said, "Have you ever shot anybody?" He said, "No." I said, "Then why do you rap about that? Why don't you rap about what your life brought you to this point of being? Your daddy, I know your daddy, and he ain't taught you to be talking about killing people. Why do you think you need to be walking around talking like a tough guy? Tough guys get knocked the fuck off every day. Why you walking around talking like that? Why don't you talk about the intelligent, highly educated person that you are?" So he did. He turned that whole shit around, started rapping about that killing people, and started with that educational enlightenment type of message to give out to people in his lyrics. And so many others. One of them he used to be called Gigolo. We know everybody knows a Gigolo. Is a part-time pimp, right? Probably got a wife and kid at home. Well, when he had his first kid, he took that gigolo, you know, off his name and called himself something different because he realized, man, I got responsibilities and I can't be calling women hoes and bitches, and I can't be influencing my kids to grow up to be nobodies. Man, I got to change my whole life. Let me pull my pants up and tighten my belt up, and make my children respecting me. And then one day, man, I saw him. He was sitting there. He was reading a book with his 7-year-old, and I almost started crying, man, because you know, um, if you're gonna be the kind of person that talks about how people should come up, be the kind of person that goes around helping people to come up. You know, be that person that's going around helping people to come up. You ain't got to be the kind of person that shoots down everything you see kids doing. The, and as a result of the way my mama raised me, when I graduated from the 8th grade, I had an automatic seat in a trade school that cost my mama nothing. It cost her nothing. She didn't have to make me no lunch. They had a cafeteria in there, and I always had money in my pocket, you know, because a hustler always got some money. I used to sell marbles at 6, 7, 8 years old. I sold marbles. You know, if you got in the marble game with me and you lost all your marbles, there wasn't no such thing as get out that game and go to the store and get them your money. Nigga, give me that money here. I'm going to give you a double pack for your nickel. Here's 10 instead of 5 for your number. And you already got a shooter, or did you lose that too? I was sympathetic to my customers, you know, and shooting craps. Oops, I'm ahead of myself. Shooting marbles. I even sold bolo bats and jacks to the little girls so they wouldn't be thinking that your brother is nothing, or that kid, that guy you kind of think about, that you don't get yourself mentally wrapped up that when you're like 12 years old, you ain't a virgin no more. And now you're pregnant at 13 and you're trying to hide it. Like my niece, she got 17, she got pregnant, and because I told her don't do it, she did it. Now, if she'd have been hanging around her mother, which her mother left her, abandoned her, because she didn't have no home training about being a mother. And so my niece had to come live with us, and she made it all the way until she was like 55 years old, and then had a brain aneurysm and died from alcohol poisoning. And that was because I left. At 20, I left and went into the military. But anyway, the story is this. If you are if you're in the notion to help change children, do it. Do it. Find out where junior achievement is being done. Find out where churches are meeting to teach children trades, where they got all the books and the notebooks and the pens and paper and the calculators to teach children how to sociology. You know, I said that in the chat earlier. Children need to learn sociology, and they need to learn accounting, because you need to understand how the mind of people works. And you damn sure need to know how to count your change when you go in the store. Do y'all do that? When you go in the store and the guy tells you that it's $4.68, and you hand him a $5 bill, do you know in your mind how much change you're gonna get back, and count to make sure that you're giving your due? That, you know, your 52 cents, are you making sure that you're getting all your change back? Are you teaching your children that? Are you teaching your little cousins and nieces and nephews? Are you teaching them that? Are you teaching the parents, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins? Are you teaching them? Are you helping sharing with them of what your children should grow up and be like? Because the more of us that grow up to be good will be the less of us that'll be doing bad. And when I say doing bad, I'm talking about bullies. You know, you have kids that get bullied that are bullying others. You have kids that get bullied, come to school and shoot up the school. And they ain't even shooting the people that's bullying them. They just showing, man, I'm as tough as you. Look, man, I'll come in this school and I'll blast this motherfucker up, man, against anybody. For what? To ruin your life? Yeah, because you don't have enough reason to make it the best life you possibly could make out of it. And that's where all of us missed the, you know, that's where we're missing the bucket. Because like Magruder said, when we watch black TV now, I can't watch it because it's brainwashing immediately in that shit. That shit don't be on 2 minutes, and it's trying to brainwash me into believing that I should be the most fucked up character I could be because I ain't white. You know? I mean, all of it. I come from when there were no black TV programs, you know. I come from that, and then I was so glad when it started to appear. But then, like Magruder said, that shit's all written by white people. Do y'all ever heard of Amos and Andy? No, you probably haven't because you're way too young. Ain't nobody talking about Amos. But man, I learned just about 20 years ago that was two white people's voices talking for the black people that we thought we was wanting to emulate. It was two white guys, just like Milli Vanilli. I'm like, how the hell are you gonna have black people on TV with white guys? Oh, I get it. It's the old black face thing. But now y'all gonna take it to the next level because you know we've been all brainwashed so badly to believe that black people were made by white folks. We just came out darker, but they're the original people. We've been brainwashed to believe that. So who wants to live in a society where you've been brainwashed to believe something that ain't true? And I ain't just talking about for black people. It goes for white people. Man, I had a Palestinian. No, I had an Israelite trying to tell me some brainwashing bullshit that he done learned way over there in Israel. First I had to shut up and let him go ahead and finish. And then I had to, go into my calculated brain and ask him all the right questions to get him on the right page, that, hey, I'm 68, you're 30. What do you think you are telling me? Because you better not think you're telling me much because you telling me some shit that you done seen on a TV somewhere because that shit ain't true. So how about you shut up and I help you to understand how to break the brainwashing way over there in your country. Because we're damn sure brainwashed over here in America. You can't watch TV. You can't watch sports. You can't watch the news because it's all going to brainwash you into one thing, that if you're black, you're destined to be nothing in this society, in this country. You're going to be totally worthless is what you're being brainwashed into believing. Because if more black people are children, and I don't even like using the word black no more, because next you'll be trying to say we came over here as slaves on a fucking boat that never existed. And I don't want to get into what I like to talk about is the reality of the world. Is that if we taught more of us children to empower themselves and grow up to be in organizations and leadership, there would be fewer of them walking around in the dark with a gun thinking that they're going to get hurt or killed or that they need to be like that bully. I'm going to lay in the cuts and that bully comes by, I'm going to get him. And then you fuck around and say that shit to somebody and the bully sneaks up on you and they take your damn gun away from you. That's what happens where I'm from. That's what happens. I bought a gun one time and let too many people know. Next thing I know, a bully is getting bullied, and he tells the bully that, hey, man, I know where you could get a gun from. Now they got me all held up. So I pulled the Texas doo-wop on them. I had my homie that I trusted go get the little gas gun because it wasn't even a real gun. They don't sell real guns in no goddamn liquor store back in 1967. So I go in there and tell him that Fred Lee has got these two ignorant motherfuckers from way over on the side of Dozier grade school out here thinking that I'm going to give them that gas gun you just bought for me. But what I think is you need to go out there with the gun loaded, shoot two of them motherfuckers in the face, and then I'm going to start fighting the other one. And then we both get Fred Lee for being a little bitch, snitch ass wannabe bad guy. And that's what children go through. But they can't tell their parents that because their parents don't communicate with them that way. Because I know I didn't. I was playing when I was 12. I was outside playing corkball, and I was a really good pitcher, and I used to strike motherfuckers out. So one of them named Eddie Love, he gonna call himself having an attitude, gonna try to bully me, so I wouldn't keep striking his ass out. So he gonna try to fight me. So he couldn't win. And so then he started sticking me with his knife. And then I realized that, man, your ass ain't even supposed to be outside right now. You better go the fuck get in the house right now before your mama get home from work. So I ran off, but I'd already been stuck. My feelings was hurt. My personality had been abused. Everybody thinks that I'm running off because I'm scared of him. And I got home and I sat there, and as soon as my mama walked through the door, Mama, can I go outside? Because I got to get back to this fight, I'm thinking. And she said, no. I'm like, what? No. How come I can't go outside? She said, and I want you to get that belt that's stuck underneath the china cabinet in the kitchen. I'm like, we have to sweep this kitchen every night. Whoever's doing dishes has to sweep this kitchen. Now, how did a belt suddenly appear stuck underneath that goddamn china cabinet? And she told me, I want you to get it out, and no, I ain't going to help you, and you better not break one of my dishes. And I saw this as the big picture. This is all the spirit is connected today. That me outside with Eddie Love sticking me with a knife, to inside with my mama telling me I can't go outside, and get this belt that's stuck under her china cabinet. So I got the belt, and just as I was about to straighten up and let the captain, a damn plate fell out. And man, she ran in there quick as fuck. She came in there like she was Eddie Love, man. I swear to God, my mama came in there like she was Eddie Love. And I couldn't see nothing but the fire in her eyes. And when she hit me, I hit her back. Because that's what I had done to him. When he hit me, I hit him back. And then all that shit got in my head. And I realized I done hit my mama with my daddy at home. My daddy didn't usually come home. But guess who's at home today? Mm-hmm. And she goes in their bedroom, sits on the end of their bed, and he wants to know what's wrong with you. And she tells him, Butch hit me. I said, oh man, I'm gonna die right here. I ain't gonna get back outside and die in the streets. I'm getting ready to get killed right here in this house with my daddy. But he didn't. He slapped me and brought me back to my senses and told me, Butch, get the fuck out. And I ran down those steps, and I ran all the way back around there and ran right up to Eddie Love and hit him so hard he didn't even know who I was. So what the fuck? Butch, what's wrong with you? I said, man, you done stuck me with a knife because of me fighting, and I'm back, nigga. What? Oh, I thought you was a little chump, little bitch. You ain't gonna come back. Okay, I'll fight you. I said, no, you won't come. Bah, 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 bah. And I never told my mama that. But my daddy had always told me, man, somebody hit you, hit him back. Fight. Don't be afraid. Don't be no chump. So that's the education I got from him. That's why I'm bipolar. My mama taught me to help you. My daddy taught me, you touch me, fight you. So what are parents teaching their children now at 6 years old, 5 years old? Are you sitting down with them with a dictionary and teaching them how to read from the dictionary, all the abbreviations, the proper pronunciations? Are you doing that? Because if you ain't doing what it takes to make sure your child grows up the way you think people should grow up, then you need to call somebody and have them come over and help you. Because that's where it's got to start. It's got to start at home. You got to understand that when you let your child go outside by themselves, they're going to go outside and represent you. Whether it's two parents or one parent, a step parent, whatever, you got to raise that child to go outside and represent you. Well, mama, that kid's bigger than me. Then stay away from him. Go the other way. Go around that way. If whatever it is you're doing that allows this person to come into your life, stop doing it. That's what your child will listen to you if y'all got a relationship. If you ain't got no relationship with your children, your child is just going to be part of this mess of children. Like we talk about, schools look like jails, prisons. Like in school, they're teaching your kids to get ready to go to prison. No, they're not. They're trying to let your kid know, if you want to be a little fuck up, look where you got to go. They got a place for you already. The state going to get paid for having you in there. So how about you avoid all of that and come home and sit down and pull your books out and teach your family what you went to school for today. Right. What did y'all go over in school today?
A parent got to be proactive.
Yeah.
You can't, like my son, before he goes to school, he knows if that teacher called me about you, cutting up, that's your ass.
Yeah.
You feel me? So he knows going in, you're not gonna be the bad one. You feel me? Don't be no follower, be a leader. You come tell me about them kids, but as long as it's not you, you're fine. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then the teachers, they love my son, man. They was crying when he went to second grade. They
Hey,
wanted,
really?
I swear to God, why did you call my son in the summertime? I mean, they wanted him again. They said these kids are so bad. Your son is so respectable. I said all I told him was if the teachers call me, you know what I mean, about you, it's me and you. It's gonna be me and you for real. And
Mhm.
he took that to heart. And he's the nicest, sweet. He's bad at the crib. He's bad as shit. Now, he ain't a cheerable kid, but he's hyper in school. He's a choir boy. Cause he know don't fuck up. Don't give no motherfucker nothing to call me about, and
Mhm.
you're fine. That's the first step. The second step is I gotta teach him shit outside of school. Tie shoes, uh, respect the girls, take care of your cousins. I mean, like the shit the kids should know, especially a boy. I got a boy. I'm trying to make a man out of him. You feel me? So I teach him early what to do, and the repetition, he's gonna get it eventually. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the world teach your kids. Like, he ain't on. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Like, he plays games and shit. He get all the toys. You know what I mean? The tablets and the fun. But they're not. That's all fake, bro. I tell them it's all fake. That's not real. If you got a question about something, you come to me and you ask me, and I'm gonna tell you the truth about it, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's the relationship I got with him. And I'm lucky because he definitely listening for now. He'll be 8 next week. And I mean, we'll see how it goes. It's still a growth period, but I'm on it. And I got it by myself. His mom's not around. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of blessed with that a little bit, you know. He still loves his mom, but she's not around. So it's me and him. And as a man, it's not easy, man, because you gotta figure out how to be hard and to nurture. We had that conversation before, you know what I'm saying? And the nursery part, I get it good because we got two grandmas, we got aunts and shit. I let them do all that, babying him and shit. You know what I mean? But that made the ball drop somewhere. But I teach you more shit than just school, like life. Teach your kids about life, about respect, about talking back and knowing when to shut the fuck up and excuse me if you want to talk. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. The little things that we knew we got our ass beat for. You know what I mean? The little things like that, and that's where I go with that, man. So that's homeschooling to me too. Teach them about the world. But I'm really trying to decipher if I'm gonna go there eventually, but the real world, I talk about the real world, but I'm talking about the real world where I come from where they don't fuck with us. He's not ready for that jet. I don't want him to hate the people. I mean, he goes to school with white kids, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a time where I had that conversation with my son. Cause it's real. It's not gonna change. It's not gonna change. They don't fuck with us. So I don't know what age, but it's coming where I gotta talk to my son about that, man. You know, so
Hey, I feel you. I feel you on that because I'm like a 125th white myself.
right.
I was raised around white people, Sicilians, um, Greeks, Italians, Caucasians, Germans. I was raised around them because until the United States passed this law of segregation, our neighborhood was full of mixed people. I
Yeah,
didn't know what it meant until all the white people had moved out the neighborhood. The
yeah.
businesses closed up because they couldn't create separate entrances for white and black people to come in the same damn store.
But what I'm saying is like
Never seen it.
even now, how do you tell a child that the world is a gift? Like my son is so innocent, man. It's like it's it's a blessing. I love to see in his eyes, like, but I gotta tell him, like, it's fucked up, man. Like, they don't fuck with you. They're scared of you. You are a threat. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it now. I'm not gonna ruin his childhood, but it's on the tip of my tongue. You know what I mean? It's on the tip of my tongue because I knew at a young age because it was relevant back then. We knew about the Klan and all that type of shit back then, and now it's not even the Klan. It's the subliminal shit they do to us, man. Now they're using their own people to do us, man. The new Klan is the black people. You feel me? So as a child, I just got to keep them away from the traps that they're setting for them. I got to see the traps first. You know what I mean? Don't let your kids be on these fucking games. The games is the trick. They found the songs on the games, and once they found the song, they found the artist. And the artist is wild. They Google that artist, they don't see some wild shit. You feel me? My son sing Old Town Road. If he know that song, he might Google Lil Nas. You feel me? If he Google Lil Nas, he gonna see some wild shit. And God willing, he ain't see it yet. But he see these dudes out here. This fruit shop. We at McDonald's. He see a fruit dude. It's cool. He said, "Dad, why is he?" I said, "Man, some dudes is their minds messed up." You know what I'm saying? I tell them, their minds messed up. That's how I feel. I have nothing against nobody do live a different lifestyle, but in my eyes, he's different. His mind's messed up. He think he a girl. That's not for you, son. I'm gonna tell my son that, and I'm proud to say that. I'm not gonna say be all try to be nice and be like, oh, he just living his life. No, fuck that. Ain't no boy supposed to have that shit on. That's all raising minds. Everybody else want to be all this other shit, man. That's where we're losing at. We're trying to cater to their shit, and who are they? They're putting this in cartoons now. It's like it's ridiculous. It's a devil's world, and it's not fair to these kids, especially when a lot of them don't have dads. I told my son, I said, you know how many of your friends don't have dads? You understand me? So you appreciate me, and he do. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many little boys always walking like, man, where the fuck is the niggas at? Where's y'all at? So how we gonna get community and get the even the wild ones out? You know what I'm saying? How we gonna get them? We ain't got around. You can't get the son off the block. So how you gonna get him off the block? Wonder why they cutting up? Nobody checking them. Nobody. It's wild west out this motherfucker, man. And this ain't a big city, man. For real, for Pittsburgh, really ain't that big. It's big enough, but it's a city. You know what I mean? But it ain't like New York or no Cali shit. It's big enough. You can fit 3 Pittsburghs in Philly. You understand me? In Philly, this is wild, wilder than that. But it's so small, it's right on top of each other. How are you stopping that? And they're the ones that's armed. They're armed. How do you figure that shit out? They even going to school. Ain't no more truant officers. They don't care no more. They just throw them in juvie. Go there, graduate. They're not teaching them in those humans. They're not teaching them in them programs. They're a bed. They're a number. They're in jail already. They don't care. Go back to their class. They're already in jail, like you said. That's in school. Detention. They're not teaching them. That's jail in school already. They know the bad ones already, man. So you gotta do them at the crib, and it takes the parents.
It's always going to take the parents because we realize before your kids know anything about outdoors, they're inside with you.
Man.
And I understand parents working. Both my parents worked. Like I said, I'd come home from school and my mama wouldn't be home yet. She was gone before we went out to go to school, and ain't made it back by the time we get back home from school. And you know she had that rule: don't you go your ass outside until I get home.
Exactly.
Right? So
Right.
that meant while I'm outside, don't you have nobody's parents trying to go tell your mama nothing bad about you?
But Papa Will, let me tell you something. The rules y'all had coming up, right? My generation was the last ones that had them rules.
Yeah, huh?
You feel me?
Yeah.
Now after the new ones, the 30s, 35s, they
Mm,
ain't got them.
yeah,
They
true.
don't know nothing the fuck you talking about, man.
I
I
try.
do. I do because I was the last of them. I'm
Mm-hmm,
in my mid 40s, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
I was the last generation had a old grandma, not no 45-year-old grandma. I
mm-hmm.
mean, I had a real grandma. See, now the dynamics have changed. They're not getting that, man. These girls, the girls can't cook. The men don't respect the women. I mean, their songs got oral sexes of they're receptionists. They're receptionists now. They're pumping in their head so much that now if you hear it so much, that now it's a norm now. It's the norm. It's not even no, oh shit, he said something. Yeah, suck my dick on the first date, bitch. Fuck you. They're dancing to that shit.
And the girls are repeating those lyrics.
That's what I'm saying. They're with it because they hear it so much. They don't know the repetition.
Mm-hmm.
That's the propaganda I'm talking about.
Yep.
They play the same songs every day for a reason. The same shows. I mean, 50 Cent. It's always a drug movie or a slave movie. That's all we do. We either
Yep.
drug dealers or slaves.
And none of that is teaching the children how to grow up and be business owners.
But it's in the but it's in the light, so that's all they're gonna see, and they gonna respect it because the money. It looks good. You know what I mean? Nobody teaching them no real shit, man. Nobody teaching no. There's no love. They're not teaching no love. They're teaching. What's it called? The sad girl. The sad girl's popular now. We gotta stop letting these kids watch this shit. I can't say social media. You can't stop that. But the major networks, any black parent watching that shit with their kids is slipping.
Yep, if they ain't helping them to understand, like I said, me, I can see the brainwashing in TV,
Definitely.
sports, the news. You know, they still can catch a white person that just killed the mama, the daddy, and the next door neighbor, and have that guy picture on the news looking clean shaven, hair is all in place
And they
for the
they
represent.
took that man. They took that man to the fan. They took him to Burger King, man.
Yeah, yeah. Instead
You
of
feel
shooting
me,
in the street, you'd have killed all these people, man, and we ain't gonna shoot you in the street. Why? Because you're white, man. You're one of.
Papa? They took that man to get fast food.
I know.
That really happened, man. That's
I know.
bullshit.
I saw that. And why you think I'm telling you that? The news ain't a safe place
Nah,
for blacks or whites, because if you're white and you think that if you kill a bunch of people, you're gonna get taken and treated nicely. Why?
the,
Because
me-
you're white.
the media always been evil, man.
Yep. And
The
then you
media,
get
the media
there,
always been against us. It's part of propaganda, you know.
and then you get there and find out that is totally not the truth.
Yeah,
Because there's still more white people in prison than there are black people. But they
yeah,
try to brainwash us into believing it's in the words. See, because if your kids don't learn what words mean from the dictionary growing up, they'll
right,
they'll be run over in our society. Because when
yeah,
they say statistically,
yeah,
percentually, there are more, that the numbers are higher. And you hear black people preach that to black people.
right. But
When you didn't read
they
the
don't know.
damn sentence.
But Papa, they don't know the numbers though. Cause you look at the numbers though, they'll do a survey or a census talking about well the opinion of this. Well, so many black people think about this. They might go to Iowa and get a poll of 5 black people. of course the votes gonna go a different way. It's only 5 blacks an hour, right? So so you gotta know about all them polls and all that shit. I don't believe none of that shit, man.
I
I
don't
believe
even,
what I see every day, and
I live what I
what
see.
I see is bullshit.
I see if I can help a person, help them. Like I said, I ride the bus, and I'm in one of these electric chairs on the bus, looking that if a person stumbles or drops something, catch
Yeah,
them, help them, you know. And
that's
if I'm around uh, young people with children, I asked them. So, have you started teaching your child how to read the dictionary yet? Oh no, we're gonna start reading the Bible. So don't do that. Teach your children how to read out that damn dictionary, leave that Bible part alone.
teaching to read.
Right.
Period.
Because if you start reading words out of the Bible to your child that you don't know and you can't pronounce, what
Yeah,
do you think the value of that is to your child?
man. I don't care if it's cat in the hat. As long as you know what that word is, it's cool.
Yeah,
ABC 1 2 3. As long as it's basic, they reading.
yeah,
If he can
basic,
decipher that word, I'm cool with that. I
you
don't
know.
care what their text is. He can pick his text when he get older. He can pick religion when he's older. I don't care. Listen, I'm just trying to prepare you for this world.
Yeah,
And it's
and
not easy. And in
it
this
ain't
world right now, it's not easy because
gonna
this
be
world is fucked up.
But that's why I'm not using the dictionary as a predicate. I'm using it as serious because I learned.
I hear you though.
I learned how to say a whole lot of words that I hadn't even seen in school yet. That by the time I seen them in school, I already knew what they meant and how to properly pronounce them.
No one mom had for me. Remember, I had Encyclopedia Britannica. I had the whole volume.
Mm-hmm.
I had like
Oh,
30
the
big,
encyclopedia.
I had like 30 big ass books, man.
Yeah,
The big
man.
leather ones. They don't allow you to order that shit. It came in the mail. Got a big ass book every month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been through that. I went through
And
that.
guess what? By the time I was in high school for homework, I didn't take no books home. I was already done with my shit. Get A's on my test.
That's the way I was in grade school too, man. Whatever like in our day, at the end of whatever chapter we was reading in English or in the history, there was a quiz at the end of it, and that the teacher was gonna go over the questions with you the next day. Man, before she was done with class, I done did all the questions.
Yeah, I already knew it. I was already done. Yeah,
I was already done.
I was already done.
you
Like,
know,
listen,
and you can call me a bad kid, if because I will tell you, I didn't have to go home and do no homework. I got out of school and went and shot marbles.
man, I
So I
wouldn't,
was
I
eight.
wouldn't kick, I wouldn't kicked it.
I didn't not have my homework done. It was
Right.
already done. And so when my mama came home and said, "You did your homework yet?" Because I wanted to go outside. "Have you done your homework?" I'm like, "Yes, man." She said, "Let me see it."
And it was funny to me, man. When I was younger, man, they couldn't call me no nerd and shit because I was popular. All the girls.
Right. See, I'm saying the same thing, because I was a gangster.
Yeah, I
Gangsters
had money. I had the candy. I sold candy.
Mhm.
Now later, penny fish.
Yep.
Cause the white motherfuckers, man, they'll pay like for 10 penny fish, they'll pay $2, man. For 10 of them motherfuckers. This was some candy.
When I got old enough to work in my auntie's store, which was 8, she'd give me $5 a week, right? Do you know at the end of that week when she'd hand me that $5, I'd say, "Aunt W, look, I need that whole pack of government chewing gum right there. I need them blow pops."
The good old days, man. That's funny.
Yeah,
Man.
and I wore a big ass overcoat at 8 years old, man, because I'm from the '60s, so I had
You
the
in the
big
60s, huh?
ass, yeah, the big ass overcoat and shit. That were it's just throwaway clothes from my other relatives, and that shit was too big, but it disguised all my shit.
Oh, you were serious with this shit, huh?
I was serious with my shit, man. I'm telling you, at 8 years old, man, they took me out of marbles and tried to rip me off shooting dice, thinking I couldn't count. I
Right.
outcounted all them little slow counting. Man, can you imagine the motherfucker trying to count on his fingers shooting dice?
Yeah, right.
Count the spots. What are you
That's a
counting?
wrap.
What are you counting on your fingers?
That's too
Because
slow.
if you turn your eyes and dudes say Point Maine, snatch the money up, and then picks the craps up and says, "Who got me faded now?" You're lost. What you gonna say? What you can say? You know?
I got a question for you, man.
Huh?
As older gentlemen,
Yeah.
what do you think that black people need to do to get a little better?
Start reading the damn dictionary at 3 and 4 years old with your kids. But the grown ones, let's say high school today, age kids, um, 13, 14-year-olds. What should we do? We should teach them how to own their own business. We should teach them how to do accounting. We should have after school classes that not only for sports and not only for the band, but what do we used to have? We used to have junior achievement.
Yeah.
Junior achievement, and pretty much put put the put the bright lights on it so it makes the kids want to all show up there. You gotta make it mandatory, but you
Right.
gotta make it so that its advantage is to all the kids, the girls and the boys. They all want to be there instead of, man, I'm so bored. Well, you wouldn't be bored if you was in junior achievement. Half of y'all are keeping the books and half of y'all are building the product, and all of you in the middle are so great at your achievement. Achieving. That's what I think that starting in like the 4th, 5th grade, children should start to be taught.
Yeah, early.
Yeah, early, because you get them early, and then they got room in their brain to take that. Because you can look up and see a 6-year-old, a 3rd grader sitting up playing the computer.
So the way I see it, man, some of these kids, man, I rap to, and they're like 15, 16. They're so gone, man. It's like there's nothing you can say to them. They already did so much that it's sad because they're all in. Maybe a couple of them, I still talk to them, try to slow them up, but you're not gonna get them off that block. You're not gonna get them out that life because they're already in it, man. They're
That's why
all
you
in.
start before, because
Right. That's what I'm
I'm
saying. You gotta get them young.
telling you that at 8 years old, I stopped shooting marbles and started shooting craps.
Yeah, I was out there young,
I
man.
was that.
But
I
one
was
thing about me though,
streets.
one thing about me, they kept me correct as I got older. Is
Mhm.
I was always school and disciplined, so I
Yeah.
listened. So even when I was fucking up, even the I ain't gonna say the thing, even the addict I was serving might have knew my pops. You know what I mean? And he would rat to me, so I would end up respecting the addict. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I would listen to him. He told me everything right as I'm serving him the shit. He told me some good shit, and I always listen. I never said, "Oh, you's a thing." I ain't man, whatever. Nah, I always listen. That's what kept me free to this day. I never went to jail for that shit. I got out of that shit. Went to serve, whatever. I got out of the shit. You know what I mean? But the thing was, I respected that man as a man, not as an addict. But it started from my upbringing, where I listened and was schooled and taught to listen. I tell my
Yeah.
son all, I tell my son all the time, man. It's going in the long run. Pay attention, and listen, and be patient. In the long run, it's going to hurt. It's going to help you. He's getting it. He's getting it. Sometimes you keep talking. Shut the fuck up. Pay attention. You know what I mean? And it's going to hurt.
Pay attention.
In the long run, it's going to help you.
Pay attention to the good stuff going on
And
around you.
and be patient.
And
Patience.
and
Key
be
too.
patient. Because in the
Patience.
military, they teach you patience kills.
Mm-hmm.
Patience kills bullshit every day.
Why do you think they make you in the military? They make you stand so long. They want to see you gonna fall out.
Yeah. See if you have what it takes to make it
Yeah.
in this operation. If
Yeah.
you don't, then you need to get back outside where
Yeah.
you was Nobody's gonna hate you. Just don't leave here with no dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, I
Take
went
a
through all that shit,
general
man.
with you. Take a general discharge with you and move out sharply.
Keep it moving, man. You know.
Keep it moving. Don't stutter step. Don't hurt yourself getting out of here. Because
Mm-mm.
this ain't for you. You should have been better prepared. You wasn't, but we ain't hating. We ain't hating. You're still an American citizen, you know.
Right? We still love you, but you gotta go.
Yeah, we still love you, but you got to go.
Okay, you ain't with it. I mean,
You ain't.
it's not easy.
Nope. Because I trained to be in the infantry, right? And it's just like being in any professional type sport, mainly football, because you could get hurt. Because if they say take that heel, they ain't looking for no what out of you. What? You could get shot in the back of the head by the platoon leader if you whatted him.
In
And
the
we,
field, wartime, they can shoot you.
yeah, they can shoot you because that's traitorous.
Yeah, they shoot you wartime.
But even like I said, I was in the infantry. So even in peacetime, you are training to go to combat every day. It ain't like, okay, well, this week we're gonna play grab ass, and we ain't really gonna be doing nothing important because, well, there ain't no chance we're going to war tomorrow. Yeah, so we just, if you did that in the infantry, you'd have so many people just roll over and desert and run away. So every day, you practice paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
doing
Pay
what
attention.
you're told. Keep your eyes on a swivel, but always
Mm-hmm.
look forward. You know, and me personally, me personally, I was able to convert my experience in the infantry, 4 years of military experience. When I went in there, I had a certificate from a trade school in business administration. I had an AA degree in business administration. I went in there as a private because I didn't want to go in there as no officer and miss out on all the physical training I was going to
I was
have
gonna
to
say you
go.
was always officer.
Huh?
I was gonna say you was always officer with a degree.
But I didn't tell them. See,
Okay.
see. And then once they found out, they said, "Why didn't you go to the officer candidate school?" I said, "I didn't come here to be no damn officer. I came here to kill people. I didn't come here to be no damn officer." Man, I
Right.
come from the streets where my next move was how many people was going to get killed as a result of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad it had gotten to be where I'm from.
I hear you. That's why I left, man.
And
I
I
left.
left,
I left.
yeah,
I left my hood because I left in the mid-90s.
in the
And
mid '90s.
the
Uh-huh.
mid-90s here, they start gang banging. We ain't never had no gangs here, man. This ain't no gang city.
Where you from?
But there was gangs here without in them couple of years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where you from?
Beard,
I,
Beard. I'm in Pittsburgh.
oh, okay. I
Beard,
thought, man, I was from Pittsburgh and all of Chicago. I thought they was all kind of horrible kind of places that you could easily wind up dead in. I
yeah.
was
Look, man, you get it anywhere now, but I was in Philly, Phoenix. Like it's crazy everywhere
yeah.
nowadays.
Well, I thought it was crazy everywhere. Period. Because I'm from St. Louis, and as bad as St. Louis was, I thought places like that was worse.
Yeah, it's small in St. Louis too. Look. We put off the Parkway. I was driving home. real shit, man. I was driving home from Arizona, right? We stopped off in St. Louis just to go get some gas and shit. We pulled. They were shooting at us. I got shot at. I was there for man 15 motherfucking minutes, man.
I ain't laughing at you, but yeah, that place. That shit is scary. That's
But,
what I'm saying.
but then
I.
I went back. Then I went back years later.
Mhm.
I kicked it. It was cool. Went to the strip club. It was cool. I was down this here. That was Nelly's Pride. I was at the where the bus terminal was at down the street. There's like a little Pride down there and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we went down there, man. I kicked it. I was in the hood. Went to the strip club. There's a hotel downtown with a mall downstairs and shit.
It
Wherever
was
that
whole
mall is
different
now.
later then, huh?
Huh?
It was a whole different when you went back
Yeah. But
later,
the
huh?
first time, man, I swear, I put that gas in the car, got in the car, went down the street. I don't know if they busting us or not. I heard bop, 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 bop. Oh my God. I was
When
so glad back on the highway and shit.
like I said, I had never been nowhere. I know this is getting way off the subject now, but we'll bring it back. When I got out of advanced training and had gotten my orders to be stationed at Fort Ord, California, which is why I joined the service so I could get to California. My brother had been stationed there, and so we took the northern route through Oklahoma and Nebraska and stuff.
Yeah.
And we didn't see a lot of black people. One time we was in Nebraska, and we had to ask where all the black people were. And dude told us exactly what we've seen on TV. You got to go down this road right here, and you turn left, and then you make a right and go across the railroad tracks. I said, "See, I told you. You go to this town, you're gonna have to go across the railroad tracks to find the black people in this town, man." And so we finally got to San Francisco, and we wound up in the Fillmore district where there was all kind of black people walking them down the street, right? And I told my brother, man, let's stop and go in this bar, man. There's a black community town over here, man. Man, I got out the car, 3 or 4 motherfuckers were standing out front, looked like they weren't gonna move out the way and let us in. And so I told my brother, from real low voice, don't say nothing. Because if they know that, because you from St. Louis, man, you sound like you're from the South to people in the North and
Yeah, Midwest twang, yeah.
yeah, we got that Midwest twang, right? So I said, man, don't say nothing. And so we walked up, and my brother gave him that look because my brother's like 6'3", I'm 6'1", and we ain't really, you don't really want to just start no fight with us or nothing, right? So they moved out the way, man. So we walked in and went all the way down to the end of the bar so we could see everybody came in that fucking place, right? And this one guy, I couldn't place him, but he came up and started asking me questions and asking me for shit. And I said, Joe, we got to go, man. Because I thought we was getting set up, right? That we was going to get mobbed if we stayed there too much longer. So we leave the place, man, and we go across the street, and this guy is following us. And I said, Joe, open up the trunk. And when my brother opened up the trunk, man, dude walked up to me and grabbed me by the shoulder like he was going to spin me around. And when I turned around, I shot him.
Mm.
That's how fucked up where I'm from is. You do that much to somebody where I'm from, you gonna either pull that trigger or you gonna get shot right there. Depending on who it is you fucking with. And you don't know, don't chance it. But so we heard them got out of San Francisco, man. I guess, because I was not the type, I was like, because I speak like I have education, because I do, and I was a gangster in my city. So, like you said, I'm just trying to finish up, like you said, that I lived in a similar situation. Then we can get this back to homeschooling your kids. That my daddy carried a knife. Talk about homeschooling. My daddy taught me how to slap and cut. Do the slap and cut. If a motherfucker stand up in front of you, butch, and pull a gun on you, if he don't fire it, slap him and then cut him on the wrist of that hand he's holding that gun in.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up cutting people, and they called me BB Butcher Man for that. And they said, why? Because I shot my neighbor across the street in the head with my BB gun for stealing my dog and telling me he didn't have it, and for cutting people standing too close to me. Like a motherfucker in the 4th grade, I'm playing the pinball machine. He thinks it's okay to walk up, stick his hand in my pocket, and get my money. Well, I'm left-handed. So I stopped, held the ball, and with my left hand went in my pocket and got my knife and cut him all the way across his wrist. Man, before we could get through playing on that pinball machine, everybody walked by wanted to come in and see who was cutting people. They said, oh, man, that's Butch. Well, Butch is... He's the Butcher Man now. They started calling me Butcher Man, because my mama named me Butch, and then here I gotta live with that in the street. I didn't even know I had a real name. I just knew my name was Butch. Now it's Butcher Man, because I cut this so-called bad guy in the damn store, and everybody said, "Man, why'd you cut him?" I said, "Because he stuck his hand in my pocket." Oh, then he deserved to get cut. Shit, he deserved to get cut.
You just cutting everybody, huh?
I was cutting everybody. Then you start fighting me, and I'd fight you, and if you picked up a bottle or try to get a stick, anything other than your fist, my knife was getting the game then, because that was fair game. But like you were saying, how the kid went to a jail school for overreacting, about the kid that slapped him. He didn't just slap him back and let it go with that. He went further. Well, I understand that too, because where I'm from, if a guy starts beating you up, and you fight back, he's gonna get more licks than he gave you. If you're gonna win, this fight, you're gonna be gave him more licks than he gave you. But you don't do that around no damn teachers, and he better not go snitching. You better go home and tell your neighborhood friends. No, you can't go home and tell your neighborhood you got beat up at school.
I feel you. But Papa, guess what, man?
Mm-hmm.
My man Nate, you trying to wrap it up, man. We'll holler at you next time, man. Good talking.
All right, me too, man. I was trying to say the same thing, but this ain't my channel, so
if you would read the channel, bro, because I got a situation at work for real, man. I just had to fuck, man.
That's what I said.
I just had a fucking situation at work. I almost had to put hands on somebody. Like, you got, come on, man.
That's what I said. Salute, man. I'm telling you, man.
No, that's you. Not, I'm saying in general. I just, man.
I hear you, fam. I'm on your team, bro. I'll catch y'all next time, all right?
All right,
hey, y'all good, man. Y'all good. This fucking shit just got me tight. Now I gotta fucking fill out a report I don't even want to fill out.
Oh, okay, I got you, fam. I hear you.
Was that an employee? Nate, I tell you, I was in security too, man. But I always wonder what was the security work you be doing, man. What's your deal, man?
Papa, well, I'm overnight security for the amusement park.
Oh, the amusement park. So you gotta always be on alert of people coming in and try to damage the place up, steal shit, and take things and stuff. Huh?
He might have to go to a site though.
No, I ain't gotta go to nothing. I gotta fucking fill out this report and something else, but I'm already still on go. Like,
I hear you, fam. Like I said, it's always good to come fuck with you, man, Nate. You know what I mean? Because always some enlightenment with me. I like your channel, bro. I like what you're doing, man. So don't think I don't fuck with you. I'm good at arts with Nate.
Yeah, I resonate with Nate, man. I've been with Nate ever since I got in fucking YouTube, man.
I ain't been coming in the chat, but I be listening. I be the butcher sometime, you know what I mean?
This side of YouTube, I be fucking with Nate.
He this is like what I would do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I would do. This type of shit. You know what I mean? I ain't with all that. I don't care about nobody else talking about somebody every fucking day. That's garbage to me. I ain't on front like I don't watch them. I be in their chat. I do be in their chat. Somebody talk some shit, but that's not me. Not gonna be for my channel every fucking day. Y'all crazy. I be laughing at them, man. But respect to all y'all, man. Well, Papa got some fucking stories for you, man.
Yeah. I've been down that road, man.
I'm gonna pick your brain. I'm gonna pick your brain next time, fam.
Hey, I'm always here for that.
I'm gonna pick your brain. I be wanting to know about like the 60s and shit like that, like how it was like in the stores and like this shit that motherfuckers don't know. Our kids, this is what I'm talking about. Our kids hate each other because they don't know that history. They don't know who the enemy is, man.
And that's what they're supposed to be going to school for, because the teachers are older than your children. And they should be, imparting knowledge with them while they're educating them to make it more worthwhile of what they're educating them about. But if they're worried about this and worried about home and their boyfriend done did this and their husband is messing around with their girlfriend, and they bringing all that shit to school with them, then they come here with an attitude. Their children are out in the street acting like fools, and they think that all the children that are in the classroom with them, why should I treat y'all any better than I treat my own damn kids? My kids are assholes. You know, all that stuff is in play in there, dude.
But the bottom line, though, wherever your kid goes to school at, wherever your kid goes to school, get education from, the parents will teach them also.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. So you
See what I mean? That's the number one thing out of all the other words we done said tonight. The parents are responsible for the educating of their children before they ever get their first day in school.
Put some on top of that. That's all, you know.
Yep. Somebody drop that cash out for Nate on that piece of knowledge.
But I'm out, man. Bless y'all, brother. Man.
All right, bro.
All right.
And Nate, I know when you working, man, you be trying to be on your all night on your chat.
No, I wasn't trying to go all night, Papa Will. I was trying to end the live not too long ago because I really almost had to put hands on somebody. Why do you think I sound like that right now? I just was calm and collected earlier, right? I done fucking sat there, ran to the bathroom, did everything. Y'all still was going on. I'm not going to interrupt the bill, but shit, if I got to end the live, I got to end the live. I got to check the pirate tab. I'm sorry. I'm snapping right now, and I'm waiting for something to come back. I'm on some shit right now.
Well, if you need me to step down and go on watch TV, man, no disrespect, bro.
No, you good, Pop. I'm saying in general, I was trying to end the live early only because I didn't know how fucking serious this shit was going to get.
Okay, I get you now. That's what I'm saying, man. I worked in security. I know, man. I used to do the 49er football games and college football games, and people just get out of control thinking, oh, it's just one guy, man. We could fuck over him. And, you know, I know how you feel, Nate, because I'd be wanting to hurt some motherfuckers up in those stands and shit. Or anywhere else they come around and acting like disrespecting me and I'm on site. I'm here. You're going to disrespect me? No, you ain't. I don't give a fuck about this job when it comes down to, you know, my respectability. Respect me. So, damn, that's right. You can't smoke while you at work, while you got all that action going on either, can you?
I'll be all right. I don't even give a fuck right now. I'm waiting for this fucking shit to end. It's gotta be tight.
Well, ain't nobody gonna get hurt, right?
Hey, Mike. It ain't gonna be me, though.
Wow. Yeah, and it ain't like you can walk away from it either, huh? You call for backup, or is it that bad a situation?
I'm not calling for nothing. They'll find your ass in the morning after it's all said and done. Fuck that. I'm on that type of time right now.
I dig it. I ain't hating on you. Just be safe, man. You know, you my dude. And I know I ain't there. I can't. Let me just drop my link. Y'all support my channel. If you ain't subbed up to me already, here, watch this little short video. Like, share, subscribe, hit your notification bell, and leave me a message on your replay, because that's what it takes to make a new subscription stick with YouTube. If you got about, you know, just a minute of that short right there, and then just let it play in the background, and just leave me a little short message so that it comes up in my notifications so I can respond back to you, and then we can be hooked up together.
Nice. Hell. Yeah, let me end this shit. I think these motherfuckers is pulling up now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay
Appreciate people popping up, man.
Okay. You want to just hold your phone and keep it live in case you need a phone call made or anything?
Oh, I'm good. The cops is actually pulling up now. I gotta go speak to them.
Oh, okay. All right, Nate. I'll see you tomorrow, man. I'm out. Good night, chat. I'm out.
You already know, Papa Will. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Sorry I gotta end this live abruptly, but apparently people want to be dumbasses, so I gotta go deal with some shit. I do appreciate everybody that tuned in. Shout outs to Leticia for bringing that information. Shout outs to Papa Will and Magruder for popping up on the panel. Yeah, sorry for sounding like that, but I'm on go right now. Really on go. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the replay game. Shout out to the shadow watchers. Y'all already know what it is. For everybody that wasn't attending, y'all already know love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real spill. Shout outs to everybody that did pop up on the panel tonight. Y'all definitely get that morning wake and bake. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.